and Luc Besson made it work. And Hollywood,
I love that.
We can do it.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh,
Who said witchcraft doesn't work?
I'll be back in a moment.
That's concerning.
That was a Blair Witch ending right there.
What's up?
Do you know how many people, like, on all the different podcasts and in the community were like, I need to see that clip, the ones that weren't watching? So many requests. I got requests. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't download their clip.
Joe Bob's done a lot for your channel this week.
It has. I'd like to thank Joe Bob and his ass for hitting the ground.
Well, this is S'mores Indoors on YouTube. A little impromptu BS session. Speaking about Boner Jams 03 tonight.
Yes.
and nerds. I'm Corey, along with Jonathan, and Dan, of course, is here. What's up, guys?
Nothing much. How are you guys?
Doing well. We had a fun little day. I actually ran down and visited with Jonathan, and we hung out for a little bit. So
yeah, it's cool because I did not know what I was going to do today. I get a text from Corey. He said, hey, I'm on my way down. I was like, all right, fine. Sweet. Let's do it.
So
How close by are you guys?
about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
It's not bad. No.
So yeah.
Yeah, we ran around, tried to find movies, but we bought some weird shit.
What was your big purchase today, Jonathan? Let's
I got a microwave. I bought an under-the-counter microwave at a pawn shop.
What
was your big purchase?
Cat died in it.
It did, but it was cheap. Like, I'm remodeling a kitchen on a budget here, dude. I'm gonna be, who's got $300 for a microwave? You know, like.
Oh wow!
And my big purchase was a stovetop microwave popper or a popcorn pop
microwave popper.
Popcorn popper. So.
I had a microwave that died, and I turned it into a Halloween prop that made it look like a head exploded in it. And
not
it
a
was
bad idea.
So popular. I was like, oh wow. They didn't care about like any of the elaborate shit. It was just the microwave. All the kids wanted to touch the gunk that was in there.
Yeah, nice. We did find some movies though.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we went to my local mom and pop video store that's still there 30-something years later. And hung out with that dude. I think he's going to do the podcast with us at some point.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because he's seen it all, man. He was there. I remember going in like 3-4 years old, and he was the dude behind the counter. So he's been in it for years.
Yeah.
That's that's cool.
Yeah. And like I said, that business is still alive today because he's a good dude. He's a cool guy. People come in there because they just want to support him.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick before we go through the stuff I did want to say I got the S'mores Indoors World Tour shirt.
Sweet. I'm going to grab
and it does
one.
look good. It does look good.
So I was pretty pleased with it. So buy that now. Actually, I should say that too. We've changed up some things with the store. You can go directly to the store at s'moresindoors.com. So
yeah, s'moresindoors.com. Okay.
It's pretty easy now to just go get your shirt. So, and we'll hype that a little more later. But Jonathan, you want to kind of show? I know you have a really special.
I do have a special one because it's
special one to show. But
my wife actually wanted to watch this one, so I went and picked it up. I got Wrong Turn, the remake. I mean, I think what Steve charged me like $10 for it. It was like nothing. So it's pretty new. This one I picked up. I don't have any interest in watching it, but I'm pretty sure it's out of print. So I'm going to sell it. Stephen King's
nice.
Red.
Nice.
I really don't have any inkling to watch it.
It's a prequel called The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer to that one.
That one's even harder to find, isn't it?
It might be now. I don't know.
Yeah. I want to, real quick, I'll shout out here Jake in the chat. Thanks for joining us, Jake. Mike, Fifth Beetle. What's up?
What's up, Mike?
Jay's up for cinematography.
Cinematography.
And like Sean says, we're in here talking horror. So
Absolutely.
and again, I'll repost the link here if anyone does want to join us. It's anybody can hop in.
And I was expecting Hayden to be here. I got him a present. I got him The Last Boy Scout on VHS. That way he might watch it if it's on VHS. And the absolute coup de grace. I don't even know how to describe this. This is the Soyo Tabuchi family Wonder of Christmas show.
Wow. I see a watch along coming for that one.
And this bad boy was originally $27.91 wherever this was sold.
I hope Shoyo delivers for that $27.
Yeah, and it is there's some polka, a lot of polka in here. Pennsylvania polka, beer barrel polka, clarinet polka, rap of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. You know, Dan, I think you're onto something there. This does need a watch along.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about copyrights. I don't know if that dude's like scouring YouTube, like, you know.
Like, I don't know who this guy is or who, like, whatever, but like I thought I just like this is like somebody's like professionally done like holiday tape. Like, this is like the kids opening presents, and like they took it to a print shop and had this very nice blended family here, you know, like very progressive, you know.
That is awesome. There's a creepy one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a Santa's toy shop thing, and it's so weird. I'll figure out what it is, but you can look at the clip from it. It's just like, wow, they used to traumatize kids with these VHS oddities back in the day.
What's up, Monty?
Monty, have fun
Hey,
at work,
Monty.
man.
Yeah, we got to get that. We'll have to transfer that or something somehow. And
Yeah,
I actually have a VHS to DVD burner. Maybe I would do it that way. So
yeah,
That's cool.
but yeah, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. I don't know if I want to sit through. Hey, there's a phone number back here.
is there a runtime on that?
No, that's what I was looking for, and I found a phone number of Soyo Entertainment.
Wonder what Soyo's up to now. Is there a year?
1995.
Believe he's a hibachi chef somewhere.
God,
I
how
picked
would it so real if he answered the phone?
Like right now.
That's his home number.
It's his home. Okay, well, I mean, the dude has a Wikipedia page. He is he's a Japanese American country fiddler and singer. He performs at his theater, the Soyo Tabachi Theater in Branson, Missouri.
Nice.
I think you need to take that over and get it signed.
The Toyo Tabachi show garnered considerable attention when it was featured on Red Letter Media's web series, The Best of the Worst, VHS. So,
I wonder if they had that VHS you've got.
yeah, I know, right? So we may be onto something here, man.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, we have Mr. Mike Hayes. Or Hughes. Why did I say Hayes? What's up, Mike?
Did you call him Michael Hayes?
Yeah.
Like from the Freebirds? Can you hear us? Yeah, we can't really hear you, though.
Can't hear you.
I'm getting like a piece of you, man. Like just like the very end of your sentence, like a real little whisper. Mike will be back.
Hopefully we'll be back. I picked up 3 DVDs while we were there. I actually had volume 1 of this. I didn't realize it. But volume 1 of Michael Jackson's History.
Oh, nice.
Video Greatest Hits. Let's see if he's back here.
Yeah, that's better.
Gotcha.
Bingo.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, what's up, man? What's good?
What's up?
Yeah, I've just done a live stream. Jeff jumped on board. I've just done do you guys ever see those tier ranking videos?
Yeah, like where you
Yeah,
there's like different
yeah,
groups.
yeah. Yeah. I just done like a slasher, a 80s slasher movie tier ranking.
Oh,
For
nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I thought like an hour long one. I thought like it was
Nice.
35 movies or something.
Nice.
It's all usual. It's like all the well, obviously 80s, so Halloween one doesn't count. So all your Halloween, Fridays, Nightmares, and some of the more deep cuts, and some of the stuff like the burning and stuff.
Oh, I love
But
the burning.
it's a fun way of just doing a video, because you can sort of like you're just doing everything on the fly, but you're not like sort of stuck for words, and it's a good way of doing it's like an hour. It just flew by because you're not like stuck. I've just started to make sort of like do videos, but I'm very nervous when it comes to like if I'm not doing a live stream. I kind of find myself struggling, and if you go quiet for a minute, it's really sort of awkward. But when you're doing a live stream, you can kind of sort of get around that, and it's good fun, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I'll have to check that out.
Let's check that one out, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What made number one for you?
It was Friday Part 4.
Oh, okay. That's a good.
So yeah, so if you're aware of how it works, it's like S tier, then A, B, C, D. So S is obviously top. So the only 3 films that made S tier for me were Friday Part 4, Friday Part 6, and The Burning.
Yeah,
everything below that was like A to D.
Cool.
So there's a couple of films. There were a couple of films which. Yeah, sorry, go on, John.
Oh, that's okay. I said I met Paul Ehlers, who played Cropsy, which was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought Paul Ehlers played Madman.
Oh, never mind. I got my killers mixed up. That's a good catch.
It was. Oh, look at me! I did it. I stumped this. Woo!
In my head, yeah. There you go. See, I don't know them all.
That was gonna be a Cropsy movie, so you're kind of right.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, but I'm not right though. I messed that one up.
I'll show these last 2 real quick. I picked up that Rewind This doc.
I need to see that.
So I'm looking forward to watching that. And then this William Forsythe, Dear Mr. Gacy. So,
ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I saw most of that, I think, a while back, and I think it's kind of tough to find now too. So,
did you read the book? Like, because it's a true story. Okay, well, you'll be
I've
surprised.
heard that. Yeah, I know they kind of correspond back and forth, and but yeah.
Does William Forsythe play John Wayne Gacy?
Yeah. So
see, I always think of the guy when I think of Gacy in my head, I think of the guy from Pee-wee's Big Adventure who played Francis, because he played in a movie called Gacy. So that's just what I see in my head.
I always think of Brian Dennehy, but because he played him in that To Catch a Killer, I think.
Oh,
so that was like way back. But
yeah, I remember that was a TV movie. I haven't seen that in a while.
No, it's a pretty good one from what I remember too. But.
Do you guys, obviously you guys in the States, it's a lot easier to, we've had serial killers in the UK, but in the States, obviously it's such a big country, but do you think, I've noticed like in the last 20 years or so, we're not really getting that sort of like killer now. I mean, obviously with forensics now, do you think that that's becoming a thing of the past? Your Ted Bundys, your Jeffrey Dahmers. Do you think that's going to become like almost a relic? Because forensics is so good now that if you do kill somebody, once they arrive on the scene, they get your details, your DNA. It's hard to sort of do that.
So yeah, so you're not going to see anymore. You're still not hearing about it. People who are in one locale, they're killing in an area they live in or live near. What you're gonna see, and you are seeing now, is like the most prolific serial killer in the history of the United States. So a guy named Samuel Little. He just died a couple of weeks or a couple months ago. And his deal was he was never in one spot too long. He was killing, basically going across the United States. You also have guys like Israel Keys, who would go on vacation and murder people, basically. It was never near his home. And that's the hardest killer to catch, if you can. So that's what you'll see more of, is those kind of people not doing things near their home.
I also think it's like it's almost like serial killers were the trend of the 80s, 70s, 80s. Now we have the mass shooter. That's unfortunately the popular.
What I've always wondered is, they say that any given time there's like so many, I think it's like 15 or 16 serial killers active in the United States. What's with the ones we don't know about, right? The guys who never got caught, the stuff they never put together. That's the scary part.
The best one hasn't been. Yeah,
exactly. Like, these guys were pretty bad at it, obviously.
Yeah. Some of them, like Night Stalker, I mean, he wasn't exactly careful, which is what's weird, how many people he killed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that comes back to the forensics thing, right? Today, he wouldn't have done that. They'd have caught him somewhere between that.
Yeah.
But what kills me is like a shoe basically convicted him, because like he happened to get like the rarest shoe in LA County.
Yeah. They should have had him like 2 or 3 times, though. That they screwed it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Who knows how many of these little just missing persons out there could be a serial killer?
Oh yeah, just like the most prolific one ever, like you've never heard of. Like, I mean, I think like the Samuel Little thing, like they didn't put that together until like a few years ago, and those murders were in no way thought to be linked. So, I mean, how many just regular cold case murders could be linked together?
No. There's a lot of unsolved ones out there. That's why Henry Lee Lucas they were just like, oh, let's close the books on these. They were so easy.
Yeah. And he's like, I get to go out in public and have lunch. So I tell you, killer.
Unlimited milkshakes.
So not to sound like a moron, Mike, but is Jack the Ripper still the biggest one of all time in your country?
I think Jack the Ripper is the biggest ever, isn't he? Really, in terms of in terms of press and cultural impact. I mean, I don't think. I mean, if you're going to ask an American to name a British serial killer, obviously you'd say Jack the Ripper. Right. If you were to ask an Englishman to name an American serial killer, I'm a bit morbid, so I know slightly more serial killers than the average. But if you were to ask the average Englishman who didn't know that much about serial killers, it's always Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy. They're the big two. Yeah. They're the only two that matter. In terms of in Britain, they're the two that everybody knows. Maybe to a lesser extent, John Wayne Gacy, but Ted Bundy and especially Jeffrey Dahmer, because of the nature of what he did. That was he was famous worldwide, and so was Ted Bundy. Whereas I think John Wayne Gacy was kind of more limited to the States.
And he's the most disturbing one to me.
Probably,
that's the one that's all. Well, I mean, what Dahmer did was pretty fucked up. But what I'm saying is, burying 27 people underneath your floorboards, and then convincing the neighborhood you had a septic tank problem.
You have a few British ones. James, what's his name? James Fairweather was the younger one. I remember him.
We've had the Yorkshire Ripper.
Yeah,
he killed like 13, at least 13 women.
Dude's got to get a better name though.
Yeah. One of the most interesting ones was we had a doctor called Harold Shipman. So he was a doctor, and he was basically administering, trying to get that word right, overdoses to elderly patients. So he was killing people in his doctor's surgery, and they think that he might have killed as many as 500 people.
Oh wow!
But what he was doing was he was basically getting the
Anesthetic.
The benefit, like when they die, all their money, getting
Oh, wow.
getting it transferred into his account.
Oh wow!
Oh,
So
damn.
basically, he was winning the trust of them, and then killing them, and he was making them change the will. That's what I was trying to say. So they were changing their will to him.
Oh, geez. I don't know how they didn't catch that way sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
second
well-
one, I'm asking questions. Second one.
Yeah. He got charged with 15 murders, but when they look back over like 20, 30 years, they were like, this guy's killed, hundreds of people.
Damn.
Also, this is why doctors need Yelp reviews. Because, there's no way I'm going to a guy who loses 30 patients a year. I feel like that's not a good number. Especially if you're a proctologist or something. Because what happened?
Let me hit some of these comments in the chat real quick. Jay got his Hayden blanket in. Hope you enjoy
Yes.
that, buddy. Big Crack Rock says, bring back serial killers. Well, all right. Mikey, truck drivers will make great killers. Yes, they probably would.
Mikey's a truck driver. That's why it's concerning.
There have been a few, haven't there? I swear there was a.
It's
truck
not
driver
as
serial killer.
yeah, there have been, but it's never one of the big ones. The way
Yeah.
it should be, because a mobile killer, a fucking killer Uber, somebody who's always fucking moving, you can just pull up to you. That's way scarier. At least you know where most of these killings are happening. It's all the way down by the docks or whatever. That's where everybody gets killed, is at the docks.
Mikey, just so you know, Robert Ben Rhodes, the truck stop killer. That's who I was thinking of.
Okay. Sean mentions in Ireland, they mentioned Zodiac or the Black Dahlia killing. Zodiac definitely has a much better movie than the Black Dahlia movie.
Yes.
In my opinion. I was so disappointed with that movie. But I love Zodiac. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
And then Sean also says killers are never caught or more creepy. If they're never caught, do they really exist?
Yes, the tree falling in the forest situation here.
They probably aren't that creepy if they haven't been caught, though. They're probably somebody you wouldn't guess. I mean,
dude, that's way more creepy. That movie, The Clove Hitch Killer. I fucking love that movie.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Dylan McDermott.
Dylan McDermott.
Yeah.
Dude, Dylan McDermott needs more work. I'm telling you, I love that guy.
Yeah, I like how it was very dark, but darkly comedic at times. How he was explaining away the stuff.
Yes.
It's sometimes older people have fantasies. The photos that
Finds a
kids have.
stack of missing women's driver's license. In the fucking basement. Well, I was holding on to those.
What do you guys think of the Town that Dreaded Sundown, the 76 version? I watched that last night for the first time, and
I like both, by the way.
It's a strange. The 76 film is a strange film because it's kind of, you've got quick dark moments, but then there's this really goofy comedy element with really goofy music, and it kind of doesn't really go with the tone of the film, and you're thinking, this is a bit, a bit of a weird sort of, it doesn't really go with the darker scenes, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I always called that movie the Andy Griffith horror movie. It was kind of like horror in Mayberry. Jake, what's up?
What's up?
Thanks for joining us. But yeah, Dan, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh no, I was gonna say now since we're remaking all this Fantasy Island as a sort of horror movie, I kind of want to see Andy Griffith as a slasher movie. Maybe Otis the drunk is behind it all at the end, or
Well, hang on. Let's cast that movie real quick. Barney Five's the most important role here. Kevin Hart. I'm gonna make Barney Five Kevin Hart. I could see that. That works.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the chick Sofia Vergara. That's gonna be Aunt B.
Wow.
I want Ron Howard now to play Opie.
How about Clint Howard play Opie?
Yes, it's
There you
better.
go.
Clinton Howard now plays Opie.
God, who do you
Craig
get?
T. Nelson, Andy Griffith. Okay, all right.
Son of a bitch, that's an old Andy Griffith.
No, I want Coach.
That's like Matlock years.
Nope. Kelsey Grammer. That dude just got the job because I like the way that fits in my head now.
Kelsey Grammer and Kevin Hart. Wow.
Match made in hell. That Fantasy Island movie pissed me off so much. And then at the very end, that pissed me off even more.
Oh, the tattoo thing?
Yeah, I was like, oh, God, that is so stupid.
Speaking of movies, we were talking about this movie today. Dan, have you seen that movie, The Beach? Is it The Beach House? Is that what I said?
The Lovecraftian one on Shudder?
Yeah,
I saw that a while back.
Is it a pretty good watch?
It could be 50-50 for you. It's the horror kind of comes, the balls out horror doesn't come in until late in the game, so it depends how you feel about slow burns. I liked it. It's not a classic. It's not the best Lovecraft film I've seen, but I still liked it. It had good atmosphere.
I always heard pretty good comments about that one, so I wasn't sure. I keep forgetting to check it out, though. So not like I don't have enough crap to watch. So
Yummy's a lot of fun if you want a 80s style splatter flick. It's a Belgian not zombie exactly, but it's like a Belgian zombie-esque movie about they go in for a boob job at this clinic, and just imagine a boob job done by Herbert West, basically, and you kind of get a feel for the tone of the movie.
Nice. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I recommend that one. I had a lot of fun with it.
Cool. Steak really like the cinematography on that one. So
I like the sound effects when Joe Bob hit the ground. I thought that was a brilliant job.
Let's watch that again real quick. I gotta.
Lucas made it work. And Hollywood,
I love that.
We can do it.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh,
Who said witchcraft doesn't work?
I'll be back in a moment.
Jonathan, you were the only. Jonathan was the only one with any concern. Lauren.
No, I've gone back and just watched everybody's face as it's happening, and that's my favorite part.
The only one who cared. Now he's got to come back and do that every time, though.
Yeah, I know. I need my shows need numbers, man. This has been popular. Let's keep this.
Skit
But
crash
every
pad.
comment on the video is the timestamp.
You know, Jonathan, it's funny. It's like I was watching Hayden's stream the other night, and there's like 20 people watching, and he got good views afterwards. Mm-hmm. And Hayden's got 300 subs. And I was watching some of the subscribers, some of the guys, Cinema Sinister Reviews. He's one of horror YouTube. He's got 11,000 subs. Mm-hmm. And he was getting the same live stream views as Hayden, and it's crazy.
All about engagement. Engagement.
It's like you've got this corner of the internet, which is like horror YouTubers, but then you've got another corner which is like us guys who are always there, always commenting, always watching, and it's kind of like a corner of a corner. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's a hardcore sort of it's a real dedicated following. Because you always see the same names always pop up. It's Ghost, it's DJ, Sean, people like that, and it's a really hard. It's a tight network, but
I love it. Everybody's always there. It seems like for pretty much any given thing. I'm gonna take you guys with me. I'm gonna come in on my phone. I'm gonna go outside and smoke. We're in smoke.
Cool. Sorry to be a whore down below, guys, but want to make sure everyone knows that we have a new web address for the store. So get the World Tour shirt and everything else. Let me pull up the since we've been talking horror, the new we're talking horror shirt.
Nice.
So yeah.
I wish there were a video of him actually falling, so you could have like the Hell in the Cell with like Joe Bob flying off of something.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So, what else have you guys watched lately?
Oh gosh, I watched Killdozer the other night.
Oh, that's a fun one. It's not
it,
good, but
it was
fun.
kind of I was just bored, I think, with it. So maybe I should give it another shot later. But
yeah, well, it's not a good movie.
No.
You have to have some nostalgia for it. Like, I wouldn't expect your mind to be blown. I mean, it is Killdozer, but it's a good example of what you could see on TV back in the day.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Lauren, any love for Killdozer?
Not as much as I think I should. It's one of those titles. It's based on a novella. And it seems like the sort of thing that should be in my sweet spot. But every time I try and watch it, I don't love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say this because everyone's going to jump down my throat about this, but Dark Knight of the Scarecrow is a film that a lot of people have a lot more love for than I do. And I love TV horror of the 70s, so it seems like the perfect thing, but no. Not all of it hits. I'll watch Devil's Triangle any day over either of those.
There's a lot of unmined releases there from that era that I'd love to see on Blu-ray.
It's never going to happen at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got that. Fear. You reviewed it. The Fear of Evil double feature.
The Ritual of Evil and
Ritual of Evil. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and I was freaking out when they announced that double feature because that was literally. I remember it was really early in the community, having a conversation, and I brought up Ritual of Evil and talking about how it was like one of my dream impossible releases, and then it happened. So, if you haven't seen those two films, they're really, really, really good for what they are.
Mm-hmm. And they were pilots, right?
They were both attempts to be the pilot to the same show that never happened.
Yeah,
2 years apart. Yeah, which is a shame because the first one is very much like a Amicus anthology short, right? But just stretched out to a TV movie of the week length. But the second one is much more of like a supernatural whodunit, and that one has always been the one that I wanted to see that series. Because it would have been Kolchak without the cheesy monsters. It would have been like all Satanism and black magic and voodoo.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been so cool.
Well, since Lauren's in here, I'm going to take this time to kind of throw a reference back to 80s SNL and the shooting of buckwheat. And we're going to go back to the tape one more time.
Luc Besson made it work. And Hollywood
I love that.
We can do it.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh,
Who said witchcraft doesn't work?
I'll be back in a moment.
No.
Let's take another look.
That's never going to get old.
Sounded like he broke through something. Did it? Was it confirmed if his chair broke or did he?
He ended up on the lower floor of the house. Is what happened.
His ass hit the crawl space. Believe.
I was gonna say, just Jonathan was the only one that was like worried.
Well, it shows you where the real empathy lies. I always tell people I have empathy problems. I really have empathy problems.
I was telling Corey that somehow, some way has to become a shirt at this point. It'll sell more than any other shirt. I don't know how you would do it, but just like I said, maybe
I'll find a way.
Did anybody grab anything from that Amazon sale? They're doing that buy two get one free again.
I haven't checked since the other night. There wasn't a whole lot of like boutique stuff on there, which is.
Thank you, Big Crack Rocket. Says the "quit calling me nerd" shirt will confuse the hell out of people, and that's why he's getting it. So
Quit
Appreciate
fucking
that.
calling me nerds.
Oh.
I grabbed.
This, Lauren, on your recommendation.
Ooh, such. You see, gold standard of the Giallo.
How much?
That's
I
a
left-
good
I left-
pickup.
I left a hate comment under Dan's Flesh Wound video today. So
Oh yeah. I fought for a couple of the things that I wanted so hard.
no, it's frustrating to me because at this point there's a large. It's the majority consider Giallo to just be Italian slashers, and it's just not what they are.
Hmm.
And it's I don't know. It's really frustrating because it's like I bet if you were to sneak, say, a really lesser known slasher that happens to be like Spanish or something in there and told them it was a Giallo, they'd buy it. And that kind of bothers me and pisses me off at the same time.
I love Spanish Giallo too. People forget there were some really good Spanish Giallos, but yeah, I mean and there's so many different kinds too. Like I really like Giallo in Venice. That's a cheese fest. It's a ridiculous movie, but I like all of them. I like the cheesy stuff. I like, so many different types of Giallo, and I like to represent them all. But
I mean, The Girl Who Knew Too Much would be like the start of the entire genre by most people, and they would, and your peers on the show would never, ever, ever consider that a Giallo.
probably not. Maybe Todd. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But my point isn't to pick on anyone. It frustrates me as an old guy. I'm ancient, and I grew up with a different perspective of it. I guess like Tenebrae is as close as like you get to one that could be either or. But really, most of them are not. And like the fact that House with Laughing Windows was so quickly discarded kind of tells the story,
I love House with Laughing Windows. That is the best, certainly, if nothing else, the best that's not, had like a proper release.
The Shameless DVD is okay, but it's expensive now. It's not cheap to dig up.
Yeah, I have that, but I'd still like to see an Arrow video version.
It's never gonna happen.
You don't think so with that? They put out a lot more obscure stuff.
I think the time is gone. I think time is not on our side for that. I'd love it. Listen, I'm there first day if it happens, but I just don't see it.
I thought like that Invisible Man thing that they just did was like, I was like, well, shit, that doesn't get much more obscure. Even I forgot that those existed.
Yeah.
I still have to pick that up. It's an expensive set.
I saw they have a big sale coming at the end of the month. I don't know what all will be on that, but
I've been spending money on old audio cassettes, so
nice.
This is the problem. I mention something on a stream, and then people start sending me stuff. It's like it's almost a given. So I got to watch doing it because they get me down rabbit holes like this. Someone sent me, I don't want to say who it was for a reason, but they sent me a Enigma Records sampler, and now I'm on the hunt to like collect them all. Another one just came today.
Nice.
Enigma Records was my favorite record label growing up because they put out the Dead Milkmen, the Dickies, they'd reissue like Sex Pistol bootlegs legitimately, but then they'd also be the label that brought out Poison and Hurricane, right? They're a bizarre label. It was just like anything that they cared about, they put out, but you knew like you're always going to get something kind of weird and wonderful. So.
Yeah.
So I've been spending money there.
One thing I wanted to mention, I don't think we've talked about this on a stream yet. We did our George Lutz Art Bell show. What was that, about a week ago or 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And Ronnie DeFeo died a couple days after we did that, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Crazy timing.
Yeah.
Not many
Was he-
fraudsters
he-
are left.
Does anybody believe his story that?
No. It's proven. Yeah, it's proven.
I'm not really down with the. I've seen the second Amityville film, and I've never really followed the story that in depth. So, because did he claim that it was demonic possession or
Eventually?
Right. Yeah. Now, Ronnie DeFeo had a personality disorder. He was hearing voices. And he snapped.
And his father wasn't a nice human being either, so there was a powder keg waiting to go off.
Mm-hmm.
So what were the stories based on for the actual film, the first film? Was it entirely based on his story, or was it?
No, it's actually the Lutzes moved into the house after the killings, and they're the ones who fabricated the haunting story, basically.
With that lawyer, right? If I remember right.
Yeah.
The lawyer come literary agent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still an interesting story, but yeah.
I mean, Jay Anson was always very honest about the thing, which is why they didn't want him on camera ever. There's very few interviews with Jay, but he was always very honest about the whole thing. He's like, I was brought in by a guy who offered me a publishing deal based on what this book would be. It was prepackaged before he ever was evolved as a writer. I mean, and he came in and they were pitching him ideas, and there was no structure to it, and he formed the thing from just random ass ideas.
Yeah.
But they say they drank that 5 bottles of wine over 2 nights, and you had Amityville Horror. That's the story. That's the real story.
Yeah, there's still people that will look you right in the eyes though and insist that the entire thing is real.
Well, how many people thought Blair Witch was real?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I lived not too far from Burkittsville at one point, and if you talk to people there, they said it was just insane the amount of people from all over the world that would come to Burkittsville and knock on random doors asking about the Blair Witch, which wasn't even a real legend. It was made up for the movie, so nobody there had heard of it. I think the mayor. The mayor actually there had a couple people that when it broke into her house just to look around, literally broke into her house, and she caught them in her house. That's
are you hiding the Blair Witch here? Is that where she is?
I guess. I think there's an article if you Google that. It's insane.
I'll tell you what though. Someone in Burkittsville is missing out on an opportunity. One the local farmer. That's the best haunted house location in the world. You could just let people walk through your woods, and they'll still freak each other out. Just a few arts and crafts, days of arts and crafts, hanging in the woods, and you're good.
Yep.
Yeah, I when I went there, I was so underwhelmed. I'm like, I understand the gift shop thing because legally they can't really do that, but yeah, I mean, like you said, just even if you can't call it the Blair Witch, just take advantage of the woods. It's not as rural as it's made out to be. There's nothing really in Burkittsville, but you're near stuff. It's not really the middle of nowhere like I was thinking it was.
Well, Maryland.
Yeah.
I love Blair Witch, the original, and I like the sequel a real lot. Not so much the remake thing. Although I don't hate that as much as some people do. I just see it as a harmless waste of time. You don't need to ever go back to, but yeah, it's whatever. But I'll tell you, I think that we always have weird take on it. It seems like there's the people who just dislike it. It didn't affect me. I never thought it was real, so I hate it. Well, it just seems like a weird thing to put a lot of your hate onto. Like, I can understand like if the film was trying to be more than it was, but it was never trying to be anything besides this like almost student film that happened to catch on. It's just a weird place to place hate to me.
That talk about coming along at the perfect time. I mean, the story behind that movie, even if you dislike the movie, is just amazing. What what Heather Donahue made on that thing. I think she runs like a vineyard or something now, or owns a vineyard.
I think she grows something a little bit.
She grows.
Yeah.
Oh, that too.
It's a fancy plant.
Yeah.
Now, was she the only one that got anything off the back end of that thing, or like as far as the actors go?
Yeah, she made a couple $1 million or something, didn't she?
But you want to know what? Just dead serious. Her performance in that thing is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't say that about the two guys. I like both of them, but no, she went places for that film. So and yeah, I mean, there's hundreds of hours of footage. So maybe if you compile her best stuff, but still, that's true of them too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's really good in it, and I was shocked to hell that she didn't have a career afterwards.
Yeah, she did a few like
Stoner
cable
comedies.
movie. Yeah, and she was in like a bit role in a Jason Biggs movie. But other than that, yeah, she did some Sci-Fi Channel, and then she made something of herself outside Hollywood, though, which is nice. Joshua Leonard grew into a fairly decent actor. He was in that what was it, Unsane, that Soderbergh thing. I always forget the third guy's name. I don't even know what he's up to.
Joshua Leonard.
No, Joshua Leonard, but the other one.
Michael, someone wasn't it? Michael.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a movie a year before Blair Witch called The Last Broadcast?
Yes.
It was
Well,
close to, yeah.
It wasn't
kind of
released.
forgotten about. Yeah.
It was basically an alien abduction thing, but it was yeah.
The
But
McPherson tape.
That comes way before, but I mean the Stone tape as well.
That's what I consider. Isn't that like widely considered like the first major found footage movie? Well, not major, but somewhat of a hit.
I think that gets really dangerous to look back on because there's lots of cinema very like in history.
Cannibal Holocaust is usually considered the first, isn't it?
Yeah, but even that 1980 is there's examples before that. I would even say that large chunks of Peeping Tom fits into that category.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Murder sequences definitely. I don't know. I don't get too hung up on that. Found footage is one of those things that I don't write a movie off of if it happens to be found footage, but it doesn't excite me that it's found footage either. Like it's like anything, you just gotta make it work on its own.
I love it.
One of the things I thought that really made the Blair Witch work is that Curse of the Blair Witch documentary before.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, mockumentary. Sorry. I didn't say that in the damn thing, though. There was no disclaimer.
No. But that really got me hyped to go see it, for sure, watching that.
I think there's something also, though, really cool. I mean, for all the joking I've done over the years about it, there is something very cool that you can get people like that movie got people. That you had a segment, a huge segment that insisted that they were watching something real. That, were watching that movie thinking they were actually seeing somebody die on camera in a movie theater. And I don't think you could pull that off again.
No,
I think you could. I think you could, but I think you would have to. It would have to be very elaborate. So, in other words, you'd have to fake a YouTube broadcast with, but like say it was pulled. Like the amount of people would have to be out there having little clips that they claim they had of it, but no one could see the real thing because YouTube had suppressed it and pulled it down or something. And then you release it to theaters a year later saying we have the full tape. You could do. There's still probably ways to do it, but it's getting increasingly hard. That said, gullibility in this country have never been too far apart. So who knows?
Yeah, speaking of famous bullshitters, since you brought up Amityville, have you ever read, I'm sure you have, Ray Garton's book, In a Dark Place? Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He had some interview somewhere about it, and it was funny how he what they would say behind the scenes about all these rubes.
Well, the Warrens are really I get it. Like they didn't hurt people, I suppose. So whatever, right? But my thing is, it goes back to just like the charlatans who want to get you in touch with your dead relatives. There is unintentional psychological damage that even believing this stuff could do. And I think there's a wider evolutionary issue where it's like we need to get past our superstitions to move forward as a people. And then we have these people standing in our way. I think that's not great. I would far prefer if the Conjuring films had just created characters rather than use the names Ed and Lorraine Warren, because to me they're continuing the legacy of people who really, at best, were P.T. Barnum with a magic wand, and at worst were preying on people's worst insecurities about existence. I don't know.
And they were taking money too, so
Right, but listen, I don't have a problem with people making money off other people, right? It's hard to say what is abusive there. If it's not blackmail, then it's a free exchange of money, whatever. I'm not going to say that shouldn't happen. Where I get nasty is when, it's not so bad if, you move into a house and it's haunted and you bring them in and they go, oh, there's a demon here. Whatever, I guess, right? But when you're talking about real people and real crimes, that's a little murkier for me. That's exploiting real tragedy, and I don't think we'd allow that in other places, which is why they kept going back to like the religious side of things, because that protected them from that kind of the spotlight, I think.
Yeah. I think Vera Farmiga is more of a little more not exactly what Lorraine looked like too.
Oh, no, not at all. Even contemporarily.
I always find it amusing, the Hollywood actor versions of these real people.
Well, the funny thing is, it's just like we talk about that, but the Fire in the Sky guys are all full of shit too, like big time, and like people believe their crap still. I mean, believe their crap.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love Fire in the Sky.
Well, that's fine, but just do you think it actually happened?
Oh no, I don't think so. I just love that fucking movie. Like, I'm glad that they made the story up. Like,
I mean, this isn't the only fraud case that these guys have been involved in. So that's a thing.
Makes for a good movie.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it since theaters. I liked it in theaters, but I never felt it was something that was going to.
Special effects wise, man, it's very impressive.
I just never felt it was going to be compelling on a second watch. So.
Yeah, that's a good double with like Fourth Kind or Communion with Christopher Walken, which has a it has a really good like first half or so, and then but it's still entertaining.
I'm thinking Chris Walken and an alien. Like that's
yeah.
Well, it's Christopher Walken playing Whitley Strieber. I'm not sure if things get better now. But to be fair to Whitley Strieber, because everyone that does this, everyone picks on him about the Alien books, which were just printing money. But I mean, he was a really solid horror writer, and
Cat Magic,
the film of unknown origin, the really freaky giant rat movie.
Yeah, Peter Weller. Yeah,
he wrote the novel that's based on. I mean, he was a really solid writer in his own right, and then he wrote Communion, and the career went in a very different direction.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was called Cat Magic. I remember I had that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you do think of him as the alien guy now.
Yeah, but he was. He had his work always had a lot of like elements of small beings, and like you can see like his fixation on that kind of storytelling even before Communion. But Communion gets wild. Like the last half of that book is like it's like an LSD trip. I mean, they didn't even try and translate it to the screen. They were like, it would be like the end of 2001 as a film, with Christopher Walken. So maybe we should have got that.
No, I want to see that, man.
Yeah, there's a great scare in the beginning of the film version. Philippe Mora was a weird director because he can pull off really good scenes. He just has problems with long narratives. I'd hire the man to direct a television commercial for me, though. I think he could pull that off.
He's got 30 seconds in him, no problem.
Have you seen Communion, Corey?
I haven't. No.
Oh God, then you both have to do an episode on that. First time watch will be interesting.
First 15 minutes will blow you away, and then the movie
Is he
goes
full on
goes
walking?
sideways. But
Okay, as long as
Oh.
I don't
I've
want
always
Deer
heard good
Hunter
things
walking.
about it.
you won't be okay. It's legitimately unnerving in its first 15 minutes or so, like big time.
Oh wow, I need to buy this thing.
Then it becomes something else. And Philippe Mora, if you don't know, was the director of Howling 2 and 3.
Oh, nice.
That's where you know
Yeah.
him from.
Jake or Mike, have you seen Communion?
I've not, mate. No, I really should. The film's always passed me by. I don't know why I've never seen it. To be honest with you, it's for a Christopher Walken film. I'm surprised I haven't seen it. But what year is that?
89, right?
89, right? Strange.
Yeah,
Is this sucker not on Blu-ray?
overseas, I believe it is.
I gotta buy a DVD, man.
Oh,
Ugh.
You got a region free player, fool.
Yeah, I do.
It probably came out about 5 years. If Communion come out in about 95, it probably would have been a bigger hit because
Really?
middle of the
remember
X-Files thing?
after the X Files, God, I remember like the mid 90s was just a non-stop like alien abduction TV shows. I remember watching a show called Dark Skies, and I loved that show. I think it only lasted one season, but that was I loved that show. And we used to get a show. It was you guys, obviously, it was an American show called Sightings. Guy called
yeah.
Tim.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I loved that show. I don't know. You guys, on the podcast, you should cover that because it was some of the stories. I mean, it was almost a bit, some of the Yeti stories were a bit far fetched, but I used to love the alien stuff on there. It's
I love
really good.
Bigfoot stories.
I know one thing Jonathan and I have talked about is, and that might be something we could add, is we've talked about going through it like these TV series and just do a little show on kind of reviewing one episode of each one, and we talked about the old Tales from the Crypt, the Tales from the Dark Side, Friday the 13th series, stuff like that, but we could probably add stuff like that too.
The Friday the 13th series is one I have to get to.
The first 2 seasons of
Oh,
that are
yeah.
so good. The third
That's what I
season
hear.
has moments, but the problem is you don't care about the cast anymore.
Yeah.
The stories aren't
Yeah.
necessarily any worse, but it's when James Monarchy came in as the other lead, replacing John DeLemay,
Yeah.
it's a tough pill.
I can remember back in the day because I always loved that show, and I would just cringe every time I talked to somebody about it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not interested. Jason's not in it." I was like, "Oh God, it's so good. Get over it. It's so good."
But it has so many behind-the-scenes connections to the franchise, the movie franchise. So
Yeah.
many people that worked on the franchise worked on the series. It's like
What's the story there? Like, how could they use that name?
Paramount.
Yeah.
Paramount
produced it.
Paramount could have done anything with the title they wanted.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So they knew what they were doing then. I didn't.
The
Oh,
plan was always that the hockey mask would be how it ends, that they'd have his mask somehow. And I don't know if that was ever true, but that is something that was always out there. Like, had they have gone on, that was the plan, that they would eventually get Jason Voorhees in there. But man, there was so much more to that show. That show was gold. The first 2 seasons were gold. I loved that show.
Oh yeah. I mean,
What is it like? Artifact every episode or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, so the concept was that there was a shop owner who sold his soul to the devil, and he actually then rejects the deal, and as collateral, the devil takes his soul, turns his soul evil, and curses the antique store. So his niece and nephew inherit the antique store and sell everything for like pennies. It's like a big yard sale. They just because they want it all gone. They don't want to run this business. And then they find out that all these people are dying because of all the shit they sold. So they agree to go back and try and recover it all.
Oh.
So every episode, but I mean, it's a series that the vampire episode from this first season, which is partially in black and white, is probably the best television vampires ever. I mean, at least domestically. I'd put it up there with the Dan Curtis work any day of the week, including his version of Dracula, which I hold in very high regard. It's great. The Cronenberg Faith Healer episode is amazing. I mean, David Cronenberg doing television, syndicated television. Think about that. It's great. It's a great series. The Halloween episode that takes place in the vault is just amazing. All that again, the first 2 seasons are just gold.
Wow, I'm really gonna have to get into that. I picked it up the whole series like super cheap.
Oh yeah,
you will binge. Yeah.
And can I just say Roby? Period.
Yes. She was at Chiller one year. I don't know if you were at that show.
I wasn't.
If they would have called it Season of the Witch, the series, it might have done.
Oh,
I wonder if how shitty the Freddy's Nightmares show was. Like, kind of confused people because I tried to revisit that show. Is garbage.
Absolute garbage.
And think about what you're comparing it to. Like, at best, it's Tales from the Dark Side. Like, that's the top of the heap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tales' first season is really good. Freddy's Nightmares, I remember always getting excited when it started, and I would really consider, and I was young, I was a teenager, I'd consider turning it off during the show because it was that bad. Even then, you looked at it and said, this is so damn cheap. And it doesn't make any sense because Freddy was making money hand over fist. So why wouldn't they have spent the bare minimum to make a coherent television? That was the big problem. Like, the show was incoherent 90% of the time. The stories made no sense.
That Toby Hooper one that everybody raves about, I'm like, go back and even watch that. It looks like he filmed it in his garage practically, or in the alleyway somewhere. It's not. I don't know. That's one I'm like perfectly fine if it doesn't come out. I know there's completists that would like to see it, but it's
guys, we have to shoot. Guys, sorry, I'm gonna have to go. It's getting late. So
all right.
See,
Well,
buddy,
thanks for
stopping
hopping on.
in, man.
yeah,
later, Mike.
Always great to
it's 3
see you.
o'clock. So. All right, mate. See you later. See you later.
Later.
Bye.
The thing I'd actually like to see make it. There's 2 things I'd like to see from television in my youth make it onto disc, and they could be DVD releases. I'm fine with that, considering the vintage. Darkroom, the James Coburn anthology series, hugely underrated and completely, unfortunately, forgotten. And on top of that, the War of the Worlds series from '92.
There might be a Canadian or something DVD of that, Lauren. I'm not positive. Like one of those. Probably not the best release, but I think that might exist.
Oh, I'll have to research. I'm sure it's not going to live up to my memories of it.
Mm-hmm.
But in those pre-X-Files days, it was kind of filling that void.
Yeah.
And again, no one talks about it. It's forgotten.
Yeah, there was a lot of good TV back then. There was a lot of bad stuff too. I mean, I'm told my nostalgia for Monsters won't be the same if I go back and watch it. I've been told it's a little close, not as bad as Freddy's Nightmares, but
I still love Monsters, man.
Yeah, I remember.
It's not great. It's not great.
Dude, that was what I watched when I was homesick. Like if I stayed homesick from school or something, Sci-Fi was always running that shit from like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Chiller played it a lot too when they were still a
I
channel.
loved Chiller, man. I talked my parents into like switching providers so I could get Chiller.
Yeah, not everybody got it, but they adapted. I think Ghouls, the Brian Keane book. That was a Chiller original, if I recall.
I know that showed up as a Redbox title at one point, so maybe they got the rights later.
It could be. I don't know. Maybe where life started. I think Deep in the Darkness, the Michael Lamo one. They adapted a few novels.
I'm just gonna be nice.
I don't think I ever read the novel. Actually,
Have you ever read his debut, Atmosphere?
Maybe.
It's.
I think I've only really read a couple of his books.
Michael's a really nice guy. That book was one of my worst reads ever. I had problems with that book.
He was never a fan. Like he wasn't one that I was so impressed by. I went and like read everything. So
well, the problem is Leisure was on that schedule, and it was just that. I mean, 2 books a month every month, and there was a schedule. You know, it was like they had their stable of 8 writers, and yeah, eventually other people would get grinded into that schedule, but. I mean, think about it. As a writer, you were expected every 18 months to have a book ready to go. Well, I mean, even someone like Keane who writes fast, you're still talking about there's not a lot of room there because you're turning a book in, you figure in 8 to 9 months, maybe 2 months of editorial and the rest is production time. It's fast. And that's ultimately what killed the line. I mean, that and the fact that Dorset are like a bunch of criminals. But
stole.
We just didn't pay the writers.
I'm looking forward to your upcoming interviews. Debbie Rashawn will be a lot of fun.
Yes,
Debbie will be a lot of fun on the 29th. I'm also recording something super secret during the day on the 29th, which will show up at some point in maybe the week after, which I'm equally excited for because it's something that I don't think has ever been done. Ever.
Oh, so really?
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Then I have Sam Carlson from she has a podcast that's fairly well regarded. And then on Friday the 2nd, and then Cullen Bunn, creator of Empty Man, on the 5th of April.
That'll be a good one. There needs to be more info out there about that. So,
well, he's going to be taken back because usually when anyone wants to talk to him, they want to talk to him, of course, about his Deadpool work and his Wolverine work. And
I don't think he'll get too many of those.
Well, I mean, I'll ask about it, but I mean, obviously, I don't know all that much. I'm going to talk about his genre stuff. Period. So.
Did any of you guys listen back in the day to Debbie Rashawn and Dee Snider on Fangoria Radio?
I couldn't. I was a diehard Dead Pit guy, so that would have been sacrilege.
Oh, I'm going to be controversial and say I think I preferred Dee and Debbie. Nothing against Dead Pit.
Later, Dan.
Nothing against Dead Pit. I don't know. I just really like their chemistry.
What do you think of Strangeland?
I wish I could get that hour and 40 minutes back.
Yep. Captain Howdy.
You could see what he was trying to do. You know what? Rock stars usually don't end up being good directors. It's been tried a lot.
There's a recent example of that.
What was the guy's name? Zandig? Was that it?
That's one of them. It's a different monster. And what I'd say is even the ones that have been successful with it, they usually don't have really depthy work, right? It's usually pretty surface level stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's just different lifestyles.
Yeah. He randomly remember. I know he was actually going to play. I remember an episode of Fangoria Radio where he almost played Dracula in a movie, which would have been really I forget why it fell apart, but
because they realized Dee Snider was going to play Dracula. That's when it fell apart.
Did you say Dracula? Like the novel Dracula?
Yes. There you go. I'm looking forward to getting a nice looking copy of that finally.
Nice.
Oh, hey. What? I didn't hear about this.
That will be formally introduced later in the week.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if more
That's
people
exciting, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just, it's funny. Talking to people, it's like these classic titles that everyone feels like they should own and should have read. But you go to the bookstore and you look at the copies that are out there, and they look like you're buying some. Not to steal from my own back cover copy, but you look like you're buying something that's written by the Brontes, right? It's like these pastoral paintings and watercolors, and for Dracula. So everyone thinks it's going to be like schoolwork to read it. And I just realized, like, these are public domain titles out there that are classics in our genre. And why don't we give people copies that look like friggin' horror novels? How about that? I also went through the entire text, and because it's epistolary, I made sure that all of the text segments are separated properly, unlike many editions. So in other words, we have breaks that explain where everything's coming from, properly formatted, which is not true of, for instance, the Penguins Classic Edition.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have that one.
Yeah, well, they wanted to keep it under 300 pages, so they crammed the fuck out of it. This is a copy that I think you could actually read comfortably.
Well, not to step on your announcement or anything, but is that something you plan on doing more of?
Depends how this does, obviously. I would like to do if it's proves possible, and I'd like to do quarterly releases of classics that are in the public domain. With the not to make money necessarily, although I like money, but just because I think that deep down, all of us kind of have a guilt about our collections not having like editions we're proud of these titles. Well, the best thing the one thing I really hate is that we're all tempted when we walk by that Barnes and Noble table with those fake leather bound editions, and look, Dracula and Frankenstein in one edition is red leather, but it's really plastic. We all consider buying them because there aren't good copies out there that look like something that you'd like be kind of happy to display. So I just decided that if no one else is going to do something about it, I would.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I would die for a good Algernon Blackwood. I know I've told you this, but
a modern one of these.
Yes. Oh, nice. That's probably expensive as hell by now.
Not in this condition.
No.
Not in this condition. It's not. But yeah, so this isn't as old as you think it is either. This edition came from 72.
Oh, okay.
But again, there's a difference though too. It's like telling people, hey, do you want to buy Dracula or say Frankenstein or whatever? That's one thing. Blackwood is pretty much a complete unknown to outside of horror fans of the pulp era. So that's a little harder. It's a little harder.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it, but you'd have to be a built-in trust in the brand by that point.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I have that Canterbury Classics hardbound that has a couple of his stories in it.
Wow.
This is weird. I just got an email about I ordered Blue Eel, Lauren, at the end, like around the end of February off Amazon. And I'm just now getting the notification that it's not to come back in stock.
Oh.
Yeah. So about that.
Oh.
No, I have no news on that. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm currently in the process of finding either an agent or a home for Divide by Zero, the new one, and then I'll circle back and figure out what I can do to try and preserve Blue Eel. There are hardbound copies on Etsy for a decent price.
Cool.
Yeah, you could get them signed there too, which is nice.
Because
It took me about a year to get that the hard
I hear the-
copy.
I hear the author's a dick too, man.
he is. He never throws in extra things when you buy things from him, ever.
We also have video proof of that.
Luc
Let's
Besson made it work. And Hollywood
I
said,
love that.
"Gee, we can do it."
You
Damn
okay,
it.
buddy? You
Yeah.
okay?
Oh,
Who said
God.
witchcraft doesn't work?
I'll be back in a moment.
I'm still gonna add more shake to that video. I'm gonna make it seem like he shook all of our cameras when he fell.
That was a very popular live stream. It is-
I wanted to see the thumbs up like coming up in the.
Yeah, I'd taken him out of there because I didn't just want to stare. Like I thought maybe he was hurt. Like I didn't. Want...
should have made it full screen.
I might even add like blood effects. So
Just like big blood splat pop
Oh,
up. Yes.
I was doing that for a while on the Region Free chat on Twitter. Like people would post just innocuous videos of weird stuff, and I would add like horrific violence to it. And then there was one with a kid, and I got some blowback, so I guess I stopped. Kids and violence, it goes together, doesn't it? Did when I was a kid.
I'm excited. There's some interesting topics coming up this week. I'm on an insane podcasting run this week. I've got like everything going on. But I'm talking Pontypool, which is a movie that I like quite a bit.
I like that too. It's been a long time since I saw
Yeah.
it.
It's a book too. A lot of people don't realize, but
Oh.
Pontypool changes everything. I have to double check the title.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people don't know that was actually going to be a trilogy of films. And if you get that Kaleidoscope Blu-ray, which is I'm assuming is out of print now, they explain what they were going to do with it, which would have been interesting.
Kind of forgot about that one. Yeah, it's been a long time. To revisit that.
Dan, have you ever seen this?
The story you mean, or that's an anthology book, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and of course, because I collect X library books,
I do
things I
too.
care about,
Yeah.
because that is the most beautiful thing in the world to me. The fact that no one ever took it out.
Oh, how could you not? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
Douglas. Well, they don't know.
look at the town. Look at the town name.
Nice.
That's awesome. I got that World of Hurt Brian Hodge in today, which was nice.
So good. So good. So good.
Yeah. I have a couple things. I still need Def Grip, which is hard to find for a decent price. A hardcover version of it, I should say.
Well, yeah. That is going to be that. Was that Delirium that put Death Grip out?
I believe it was Delirium. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, see, this is the thing. Like, I love the limited edition books, but once the initial sales are gone, if you weren't a part of it, it's like way too expensive to justify to yourself a lot of times.
Yeah.
If you wait long enough, maybe one shows up on the market, but then you got to jump on it, because if it spends any time on the market,
I always wonder. I mean, they do it with DVDs and Blu-rays obviously too, but like when you see something where it's like somebody's trying to get like $900 for a movie, or I'm like, nobody could have ever have actually paid that. I mean,
so
maybe there is.
So this is how stupid I am. Back in the earliest days of eBay, I saw a copy of H.P. Lovecraft's Outsider and Others go on sale at $900.
Oh,
you have to understand this is a $7,000 book currently. It reaches about $12,000 in good times. It's not a good time for books right now.
yeah.
$900 it's sitting there. And the reason no one's finding it is because the person who listed it misspelled Lovecraft. They left the E out.
Wow.
I had the money. I didn't place a bid. and because I just kept going $900 for a book. Can I justify that? Looking back now, I'm like, I am an idiot and a half.
An investment.
In 30
though, too.
years, in 30 years, that's going to be a $20,000 book.
The only thing that would scare me about something that expensive is like, do I get it and then like just the pages all fall out or something like crazy? It's just hard. It's like you do get a little nervous. Do you have like any of you have like the most expensive collectible movie, whatever that you bought? Like, is there like a one that you look back on and like, man, I spent a fortune on this thing?
Trying to think. Let's see. I can't think of anything really myself.
Mm.
I feel like I've been really lucky. No, I think everything has been like, when I look back, I go, that's what it. I've spent some real money on stuff, but I don't think I've ever had buyer's remorse. But then again, you see how I was. I should have bought a $900 copy of the most important horror release of all time, and I didn't because I was too conservative about it.
Yeah.
I will tell you that, okay, this is embarrassing as hell. I went through a period. Do you remember the Universal Monsters stamps that came out from the Postal Service in 93, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I went through kind of a hard period a couple years later and used those stamps.
Oh, wow.
That wasn't a smart move.
That always stings. Like if you were like young and the action figures you opened and then like thinking like shit, some of that, early Star Wars stuff that, you could buy a house at this point if you have them unopened. I try if it's something that I think is gonna like I don't know what it even goes for now, but I got I don't know if you guys remember that Blackula figure they put out, and I was just ecstatic that somebody made a figure of Blackula. So I try and grab them early because I'm like, I'm gonna want that, but there's no way I'm gonna pay like $500 when it gets ridiculous. So that's my rule. I try and like get it early when you're gonna pay a normal price. Don't procrastinate, and and in your head, you can always resell it if you regret it later. So,
yeah.
I just saw Hayden in the chat. I picked you up a present, Hayden. I got you The Last Boy Scout on VHS, so maybe you might watch it that way.
Oh, look at that.
You should dangle it as a carrot and say he's got to watch like at least 2 or 3 things or you're going to smash it. He's got a movie list, a mile long at this point.
Yeah, it's mostly all movies, so you probably have a shorter list of shit he's seen.
And they all start with Rush.
Yeah.
Rush Hour. I still, everybody loved that. I remember, when did it come out now? 97. And everybody was in love with that movie. And I was like, it is just the most okay act. And I actually think Chris Tucker's kind of annoying. Personally, his shtick was never all that funny to me. But
it worked in Friday. But
yeah. I am not even a big Friday guy, though, really. I mean, I'm not.
Love Friday.
I like those movies, but I don't know.
Jonathan just gave you strike 2, Dan. Come on.
Yeah, Dan,
I know.
I'm doing well tonight.
Dead Pit and Friday. I'll revisit them though, because it's been a long time since I've watched them. I don't hate them, just I don't know. It's never like I was a big comedy wise. I was a big sex comedy guy, and then the indie dark comedy indie stuff for me. I'm a little modern comedies are not funny to me at all anymore. Amy Schumer, Seth Rogen. It's I
liked Seth Rogen. Like at the beginning, I thought it was great. It's gotten a little old with that American Pickle movie that came out or whatever.
I think the lowest of the lows for Hollywood. I don't think it was Seth Rogen, but it's like they made an emoji movie I'm just
No,
like,
that was
yeah.
TJ Miller.
Oh, okay. Well, they announced that. I'm like, good God.
Not even my kid likes that movie.
It didn't seem like I don't think my nieces or nephew. I know they were like super excited, and I probably yelled at them a few times about it, but I don't think they liked it either.
What's been your Jonathan? What's been your of all the movies you've taken to your most? I guess.
Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
That was a fun little movie. I think I had more fun than she did. We're going tomorrow. We're actually going to the movies tomorrow. It'll be the first time I've been since Sonic the Hedgehog. So.
Oh wow, what are you seeing?
I don't know. I mean, I'm taking the kids, so can't be anything too cool.
I just booked my vaccine for April 2nd, so like after April, I'm actually going to be in the clear to go to movies again. I'd go now, honestly, but dealing with family members for me.
My ticket for Godzilla vs. Kong.
Nice.
Let me see.
Bring it, big boy. Get in here.
Hayden, I'm just going to say Chris Tucker is the most annoying human being to ever walk the face of the earth.
We need
There is Jim Carrey,
counterpoint, Hayden.
I don't think anybody could defend Chris Tucker. There's a reason why he didn't make any other movies. I think even he knew he was annoying. Just let me ride this rush hour train.
I guess I'm seeing Raya in The Last Dragon.
Oh, okay.
They should make The Last Dragon versus The Last Unicorn.
I was a big Dragon Slayer kid growing up. I remember liking that. That movie's surprisingly gory. Again, another good example of kid stuff now versus kid stuff then.
There would be lawsuits against Disney if they made Old Yeller today.
Oh God, yeah.
Crazy. You're crazy. I didn't even put a shirt on. That's how mad I am. First of all, Sonic the Hedgehog is a shit-ass movie. Fuck that movie.
I took my daughter to see it.
Your daughter can rot in hell. Rush Hour 2 is
Wow.
better than 3. No, I'm just joking. Your daughter is cool. Rush Hour 2, though, most superior film, even more than that doll movie everyone was talking about last night on whatever stream that I was on. I can't remember. Jamie, that's what it was.
Child's Play?
And no, some doll movie about some island of the dolls or something. Is that what it's called?
Valley of the Dolls.
Oh, Valley of the Dolls.
Beyond.
I'm kind of no.
Lauren doesn't like it either.
I don't actually, but
I
that's
don't
not
either.
where I'm coming from right at the moment.
And what else did I have to gripe about? Oh yeah, Chris Tucker. He's a great man. I don't know.
I don't think he.
You came in with such thunder, man. I thought it was. You told my daughter to rot in hell, Hayden.
Shirtless aggression.
Out of jest. She's great. She makes really good hot dogs or whatever.
She's 4, Hayden.
It's really good.
That was a heel move, Hayden.
It was, man.
I don't know what
Shit,
that
heel
means.
turn.
Heel, bad guy.
In case y'all didn't
Was
know.
that what that is?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard. Is that a wrestling term?
That is
It
a
is.
rest. Faces
Okay.
and heels. Good guys, bad guys.
That makes more sense from looking back at what you guys were talking about in that group chat that I had no clue what was going on in.
He's not wearing shoes either. He doesn't know how to tie them yet.
Oh,
That's
great.
why Velcro exists.
Sean, I just took them off. It's unfortunate.
Neighbors don't appreciate you leaving
Hey,
the
what's
window open.
What's your gripe with Sonic the Hedgehog?
No, I actually haven't seen it. It just looks horrible.
It's a movie. Of course, he hasn't seen it.
What else were you guys talking about? I think that's it. I think that's all my complaints. Yeah.
Well, Chris Tucker's still annoying
Well,
as shit. I don't think you proved that one
I mean,
to
I've
me yet.
only seen him in the Rush Hour movies.
You ever seen
There's some
Friday?
reason.
You haven't
Have
seen
you ever
Friday?
seen Friday?
No, I've never seen Friday.
What the fuck, Hayden?
I know it's on my. It's gonna be in the poll next, probably.
You're gonna have to
I
make these
think-
polls fucking longer, dude. We're gonna have to bust out a couple of these every couple. We got to get you caught up, dude.
By the way, Natural Born Killers has officially won.
Yes.
And
good.
that'll be the movie I'm doing next.
I will say though, you do have it. You're hard to pin down, and I mean, you like her, you like some stuff like that. So you're not easy to predict. But
Yeah.
American Honey, I think you talked about, which is
I've actually never seen that. I want to see.
Oh, okay.
That was Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, he's not the main focus, but yeah, he's
long ass movie.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours.
I like more independent stuff that you probably wouldn't expect me to, I guess.
No Ambien before Natural Born Killers.
You won't need it.
For you.
Oh, that movie is so good.
Let me get a shirt on. I'll be back. I'll go to my computer.
Welcome to the show, Ben Graham.
Hey, Ben. Yeah, Natural Born Killers. I still remember. I saw that in theaters. I mean, I was fairly young, but I was just like in awe at what I was watching. I had no idea, no real concept of what it was going to be. In '95, I believe that came out, and man, it's one It's one that has a high rewatch factor too, which is nice.
Yeah, endlessly.
That'd
That was
be a
one
nice
I-
re-release.
I actually didn't enjoy back then, and maybe I should rewatch it now. But
I haven't seen it since the early 2000s. I didn't care for it much then, but
Oh, really? Okay.
I couldn't even really tell you what I don't like about it though. So
yeah, same here.
Was it like a forbidden movie for you? Because I know, like after Columbine, that movie got a ton of heat, and like I know a lot of people were like, "No, you can't watch that. It's the worst thing ever."
no, but I didn't really have a whole lot of that at all. Like my parents pretty much let me kind of watch what I wanted to.
Yes, same here.
Yeah, I mean, if something was like noticeably an issue, like if I was like really scared about something, they would urge me to like turn it off. But
I was a
other than
good
that,
bullshitter with my parents, so they didn't really know. I would rent something like Pure Luck and have, I don't know, Cannibal Holocaust or whatever behind it, and it's like, oh yeah, just some Martin Short movies I'm renting today. And
Cannibal Holocaust.
Pure Luck, was that Martin Short and Danny Glover? Was it?
getting the pike up his ass and there, yeah, that's Martin Short. That's just a bit. Have you guys been following Christian building his VHS video store room? I think that's pretty cool.
I need to catch up with that, actually.
Yeah.
I've got I know
I got
it's
money
like,
that says sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yours is on top.
I've been building like rows, which is dumb because it cuts off space. But I'm actually doing it with my books though. It's kind of cool to like walk up rows, and I don't know.
That's exactly how I've described when I've like what I've seen of your collection. I'm like, he's got fucking rows. Like there's an aisle.
I have.
Do you know how many individual titles you have?
Not really. I mean, it's in the thousands and thousands. People have asked me for a count, and I'm like, I'll get so tired, and then it's like, wait a minute, did I miscount? And my OCD, it's like, fuck, all right, I'm gonna go back and try and count everything. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I could go. I have to, because Todd does everything and makes everything look good. I'm not the tech guy. So I have to find a way that I can like film something, which is going to be a long video when it comes, and upload it or whatever myself. I'll have to figure. I'm probably at a point where I should get a proper camera and learn how to do stuff, because that will be a cool video, because I promise I'm not over exaggerating. It's ridiculous here.
It's always nice to see somebody that has more than me, because it's like, oh, I've got plenty of time. Like
I'll tell you the funniest thing. Whenever I have like a date, I can know immediately. There's a certain look in the eyes when they come over to my place, and I can tell. I was like, okay, this is going to be one and done. I'll usually be able to tell, because it's a little bit of a museum. I've been criticized that it's more of a museum than a home. But it works for me. It's all a museum. I have a bed though, so it's like kind of homey, I guess, in that way.
Yeah, there aren't beds in video stores.
And I have a couch, so that's enough. It's just me.
So does anybody else have a count on what they have, or like a roundabout? It's probably depressing if you actually count it.
You know what? I have this issue, like maybe I should be more selfish about my life, but like I feel like I don't want to burden someone when I'm dead to have to deal with all this crap I've got.
I've thought about that. Like, like, there's no way that like you can keep his shit around. Like, I'm the only one that cared about it. Like,
yeah. When I had my car accident, that's like a thought. I was like, man, if I died, that's like an eBay nightmare, like waiting to happen.
For local pickup only.
They would probably have to. I could just see, my dad just, all right, fuck it. I've got one row done, and I've been working on this for like 2 weeks.
Bring 2 tractor trailers.
Yeah.
Blu-rays are a little sneaky. Like, how many of those you can get on a shelf? Like, it's when you pull it out and count it, it's like, Jesus, I didn't think there was that many there.
Yeah, you can cram a lot of Blu-rays in. That's one nice thing.
You cram them in, you hear that one corner go crunch, and you're like, oh, that was one too many.
No, mine are sandwiched in. I'm out of room. I mean, I could like take the belts down and shit, but who wants to do that?
I have.
I don't know why that never gets old.
And you don't even know who it is.
I was talking to Jonathan today. I was like, I was trying to get like a little intro for everybody. I'm like, that just takes away from that one. So it has to be only that one.
Can everyone send me a shirtless pic so I can make an intro for everyone?
No.
I've got one of Jay and Al. I don't think he'll be back anytime soon, but
I'll see if Joe Bob can get you on.
Sean, get on my damn Patreon, you motherfucker. That's how I bring people in. I just harass them until they give me money.
Is Sean Al?
No, but for real, Sean, you need to vote for $1. You can vote on what.
For $1, you can vote.
You can vote for what movie you want me to watch, and that's worth it alone.
There was a similar offer made to me in the last election, and I didn't fall for it either.
I'll send you a sample of my cum as well. That's one of the perks.
Oh, you're gonna lose so many patrons when the rebuild comes up after this.
I can't promise you it'll still be active because I think you have to keep it cooled.
Well, come on, spend some of that money and send it in like a cooler or something. I'm sure there's
with dry ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll be down to only Morgan Pertisma or whatever the hell it was.
Who's in that stupid? Was it Vince Vaughn in that stupid movie where he has like 700 kids or something?
Kids.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm never gonna see that movie in my life.
700 Haydens.
I'll pass.
They all meet up at like a Chris Tucker convention.
Vince Vaughn was in one of
Golden Corral to go feast on the biscuits in the morning.
Eat the fucking food trough with the rest of the circus freaks.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel like so ashamed, like halfway into a buffet meal. I'm like, I'm just a fat piece of shit.
I remember when they opened one near us, there was like fist fights the first night.
Oh yeah, man! But that was a big deal when we got Golden Corral here. We lost it during the pandemic, but that was a big
Well,
deal.
that was
a bucket list item for a lot of people. Like
that was across the Delaware and Pennsylvania. When they open them in Jersey, there's actually a body count. Like people get shot.
First
For
couple times I went to Golden Corral, I thought I was going to have to stop and throw up before I got home.
Well, that's it. That's
Yeah.
They're always like, good God, going in there on a Sunday, like the church, every church person is in Golden Corral, and it is like elbow and elbow. And I mean, the food's fine, but I don't know. Every time my family wants to go, I'm like, is it really that good? I mean, you know, it's nice to be able to move.
there is one around here that's like fantastic. It's like the best one I've ever been to.
You got to go to the Asian buffets. Those are the best.
Those are so hit and miss. So
If you find a
hit and
good
miss.
one,
It's 50-50.
you'll either get food poisoning or it'll be really good.
So I've always
Or
noticed
both.
like how cheap the quality of food is.
two things can
Like,
be
it's
true
just-
at the same time. Hayden.
Yeah.
You can tell by the dessert buffet option they got. Like if it just looks like terrible crap, the rest of it ain't gonna be good.
If it's a restaurant in Jersey that's not owned by Greeks and one of the Greek sons is not always there and always trying to bed at least two waitresses, it ain't a real restaurant. That's the litmus test.
Maybe 30 years ago, like they're just remembering it wrong. Like it was. I swear to God, it was good. Like,
That's how I feel about Ponderosa.
I miss Ponderosa, dude.
I do too.
I miss Ponderosa as well. Although they existed under a different name as well. And there was one of those still way in Pennsylvania when I was still doing the district manager thing. And every time I passed it, I was like, I can't not do it. I had to turn in every time.
We had a couple around here up until recently.
Oh, nice.
Is that one still in Tell City, Jake?
No, it closed down a while ago.
That's too bad. There's still a Sizzler in LA when I go back there, or outside of LA. I don't know if anybody grew up on Sizzler.
We didn't
Rockaway,
have
New
Sizzlers
Jersey.
down here.
Yeah. I love Sizzlers. Not a lot, but there's a couple, I guess, still in California. I miss that. Fuddruckers, there's another one.
Ponderosa.
Not a lot of them.
I remember Fuddruckers. I don't know. Are they still around?
They are. There's just not a lot of them. But yeah, you build your own burger. That place, another one that I grew up on when I was in the DC area. I'm nostalgic for food, man. It's been like a year since I've actually sat in a restaurant, which for me, it's going to be this Indian Pakistani buffet that's in town. It's just so good. That is like at the end of April, I said at that point, I'm done. I'm going to hit the buffet again.
Well, yeah, Big Crack Rock. Those chicken wings at Ponderosa were
I was
like
about to
crack.
say those little chicken wings, man.
Oh, holy God. And nothing else is exactly like them.
Oh man, there's this place down here called the Patio. They have excellent food. Jake, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I love that place, dude. I'm gonna go there this weekend.
You've been to Poorhouse? It's better, in my opinion.
No, I have not been to the Poorhouse. I don't spend much time over there.
I do because it's the closest place to me that has stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Now, Sean, I was saying I was trying to do an intro for everyone, but I thought it took away from Hayden, so I scrapped it. So.
But as soon as Hayden docks someone and is thrown off the show, then someone else will get a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just give me your address and then I'll release it. And there we go.
He's going to like rip his mask off, and that's who's going to be underneath it. It was me all along.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids and that dog.
Compare the shirtless photos.
Wait, let Scooby Doo. Now, this always bothered me. let's be real honest about that. Like the villain at the end always said, "I would have gotten away if it wasn't for you kids and that dog." It was Thelma. That's it.
Yeah.
Period. If the villain just kills Thelma, no crime ever gets solved, ever again. Right?
That's true.
Fred never came up with jack shit. Daphne, I don't. She'd go missing in episodes.
She was having sex with Fred, wasn't she?
Scooby, not happening. I mean, he just was controlled by the narcotic Scooby snacks. That's it. Shaggy, forget about it. So the way I see it, Velma or nothing. That's it.
Fred
I-
Ruffalo
I-
was a mascot,
I had
though.
the same problem with Murder, She Wrote. You know, Angela Lansbury shows up in your town and you just committed a murder. You need to commit one more murder. Because, like, that wouldn't be, like, common knowledge.
Yeah.
But the mystery writer who solves
Series finale
52
right there.
murders a year, you just wipe her out. You know? Any good Giallo villain would have taken her out.
Oh, here we go with the Jello.
You don't like the Jello?
I just still don't understand what it is because I thought it
I've
was.
never seen one.
Lauren explained it to me in detail on one stream, and I already forgot. I know it's German,
Dude, you got balls.
Italian?
Corey, don't you?
Italian.
But there are other.
They're yellow books,
Yep.
paperback.
They were books with yellow covers with usually red teardrop designs and inserted artwork. It was meant to let in post-war Italy they were in a deep depression, so entertainment choices were not much. So these were very, very, very cheaply printed novels aimed at the working men of Italy at the time. They were lurid romances with lots of gore and violence. They were mostly crime thrillers, but they always were there was always almost a. When I say they're romances, I mean that. Like they are like definitely like male romances because there's a lot of sex. There's just a lot of male gaze on the page there. But they were mostly crime thrillers. Today we think of them as, again, we were just talking about this, but as slashers. But that's not really what the books were.
So
But-
no, sorry, go ahead.
But the film tradition is much more based in body count thrillers of a certain
Okay,
sleazy psychedelic sort.
that's what I was.
I would say
gonna ask.
psychedelia is an important ingredient for me to call it a giallo.
So when it comes to films, do the films have to be made in Italy, or just made in a style that is similar to the novels? Or...
I mean, no one has the right to answer that question, right? But here's what I would say. I'd say that it's kind of like punk rock, right? Punk rock really was a moment in history. It was depressed England in the late 70s. The middle class had descended into the lower class. There was outright unhappiness with the government. There was social turmoil, and this music form grew out of it, and it kind of reduced rock back to its primal essence, right? Doesn't mean you can't make punk rock today anywhere in the world, but punk really crystallized in that moment. So you can make, anywhere can and have made giallos as a form, but it definitely is that 1968 to 1984, or maybe at the latest, Italian movement is kind of like what fits the mold best because it was a moment in time.
Okay.
It has a lot to do with 60s filmmaking, honestly, even though only a couple years of the 60s are included. Because a lot of the techniques, even into the early 80s, that were still being done in the giallos were drawn directly from 60s filmmaking. And that's kind of one of the beautiful things about it. I think that's one of the things that I find intoxicating is they seem out of time even in the time that they take place.
A lot of Edgar Wallace influence there too.
Yeah.
You might like. I could see you enjoying some of those, Hayden. Like I said, they're not all the same by any means. They're.
Is that the night Evelyn came out of the grave in your hands?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Giallo.
I just bought Strip Nude for Your Killer as well.
Oh, Strip Nude for Your Killer's good.
Right.
Ooh, okay.
Is one of the sleaziest of the bunch.
Oh, I love sleazy, so.
Well, there's Edwy again, so it's all good.
She is. Yeah, Hayden, that
Yeah.
might get you to watch some damn movies. Look up
Yeah, I mean,
Edwige Fenech.
okay. How do you
Although I would
spell
start
that?
with All the Colors of the Night.
Send that in
All
the
the Colors of
private
the Dark,
chat.
sorry. Simply because you get the most of her. She's in virtually every scene of that film. And I just think it's probably the... I go back and forth between House with Laughing Windows and All the Colors of the Dark as the best giallo of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She
You
had
can't
she had an interesting career too, because those Italian sex comedies were pretty huge back then, as well.
Yeah.
I think she married like some like filthy rich businessman or something, and that's why she kind of
Can't imagine how that happened, huh?
Yeah, no, she was still looking pretty damn good in Hostel too. So I think she could have anybody she wants.
Cool.
Yeah, I think the reason that we keep fixating on this period is not so much because of anything other than the fact that those films have so much personality, and films today have none.
Yeah,
It's so hard to get excited about modern filmmaking because it all looks the same.
definitely the big Hollywood stuff lately, which I can see that getting worse and worse. Actually, I don't know. Although now is the time to really start digging deep and making something more of substance, but I don't know. But we still get our Saint mods, so I can't complain. There's a lot of good material out there, which I'm glad you like that one, Hayden.
Yeah.
You're interesting because it's never a sure thing either way. Dark and the
Otherwise,
Wicked
I was going to have to
surprised
set you on fire on a beach.
I really need to give The Dark and the Wicked another shot when I'm not live streaming it. I think that might have influenced my opinion and taken me out of it
Yeah,
a little bit.
first time watch, that's not a good way to do it.
Yeah.
For sure. You saw Empty Man too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. 2 out of 3 is not too bad.
Wanted to go back here to Sean's comment about the intros. Dan's intro could be Steve Blackman. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if it works.
Legit bad? I don't have the build of Steve Blackman, but I'll take it, man. It's good.
What does that have to do with Lethal Weapon?
Nothing.
Yeah, I forgot he was the Lethal Weapon.
Did you guys ever hear the story, ironically, of Steve Blackman and JBL, where
Nope.
No, I didn't think you would have, Hayden. But JBL was known for pranking people in quite cruel ways, and
That's
one
my
of
pops.
it's disgusting. But there's a gag that people always did, and going way back to the territory days of shitting in somebody's bag, their gym bag usually.
JBL would do that?
JBL would do that. And now Steve Blackman, it's not an act. He's a legit martial artist. So when he discovered this at an airport, apparently he threw a perfect spin kick and just nailed JBL in the face. And the only thing that stopped him from killing JBL was he got caught up in luggage and they got pulled off. So, yeah.
I'd heard that oh man, Joey Styles. I heard Joey Styles knocked him out once. Yeah.
Coincidentally, Hayden actually shits in people's pizza. And,
Where did that come from, Corey?
Like father, like son, I guess. I don't know.
Randy Orton's another one that carried on that tradition.
Ooh, Blackman's not looking so great modern day.
I don't think I've seen him in a while.
That was about 25 years ago. So.
I mean, I can't really talk. But
well, guys, I'm going to head off to sleep or to not sleep, one of the two. thank you for having me again, and I'll see all of you when I see you.
Absolutely.
Everybody-
Later, Lauren.
Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right.
We're working on I'm working on organizing an Empty Man commentary, live commentary.
Oh, nice.
So anyone out there who hasn't seen it yet, who wants to watch it before the commentary to join us, do it, including you guys in here. If you haven't seen it,
I just
Have you-
picked it up from the Red Box the other day.
Yeah,
I picked it
so-
up. Haven't watched it yet.
Oh, good.
You know what? I'm thinking about grabbing an extra copy of that and just seeing if that becomes a rarity.
Yeah.
Like something I can make some money on eBay with.
it's cheap enough where you may as well. It's gone down in price now, so
Yeah, I think I got it for $4.
Is that the only physical way you can get it?
yeah.
That's the only way it was. Yeah, printed. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I hope that
As
doesn't
of
become
now.
a thing.
But Chris Stuckman, who's a very prominent YouTuber,
Is Rodney Dangerfield trying to call in, or is that?
Oh
You don't screen these people first, Corey?
no,
No, but
I got the power of the remove button. So
you know,
Rodney
Chris-
Dangerfield would be more fun than Al.
Is he gonna say anything?
I don't know.
Chris Stuckman though made a video on Empty Man, and you know he has connections, and he's a pretty big YouTuber. So hopefully, if more people like him keep speaking out about how awesome the Empty Man is and how big of a chance that movie took, maybe it will get a wider release.
If it popped up on like Netflix, it'll start to explode more. Just a lot of people can't watch it right now. that's the issue.
Yeah.
But
Didn't someone say that it's kind of under Disney control?
yeah, I think so.
So
And
maybe it'll hit Hulu or something.
yeah, you can buy it on Vudu digitally. So
Oh, okay.
there's some options. But yeah. I hope it. I think it will. There's a lot of movies that we forget were not a big thing theatrically, and then they just exploded. So
I'm gonna buy it right now.
Do it.
nice.
Cool.
I still haven't even checked my copy to make sure it works, because they are used if you buy them from Redbox. But
You think anyone check that out?
I'm almost
Probably
betting
not.
my copy is not used.
I bet mine isn't either.
hold on. Where's
I got mine the same place you bought your Garth Brooks box set, so I don't think mine was
Yeah, I
ever
don't think anybody
printed.
checked that one out, dude.
So, I guess I'll hype some upcoming stuff here real quick. Sunday, are you good, Jonathan, to go ahead and do our Manson thing that night?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. We'll be doing that, the one we had planned. So check that out this coming Sunday night. Sometime middle next week, we should drop the interview with our special A-list celebrity. That'll be
When is that?
mid next week sometime.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
So check out that.
John Cena stopping by.
Yeah. You won't be able to see him, but you'll hear him.
Yeah, Mark Robbie looks pretty good.
And then April 5th, we'll launch the S'mores Endorsed Patreon. So
Nice.
you will, day one, you'll get that that hot sauce challenge with Hayden.
Yay.
That'll be up, ready to go. And we got more stuff planned in the future for that. Got, of course, the Manson show, more hot sauce challenges, whoever we can get to take that challenge. And we're going to do some interviews, kind of like some of the other guys have done, with our constant contributors here. Well, I'm sure we'll get Dan on, we'll get Jay the Stingery on for some interviews, and those will be on the Patreon, and we'll do some, Patreon only live streams, stuff like that. So, and those tiers will be $1, $3, and $5. So nothing too expensive.
Nice.
So look out for that stuff in the next coming week. I'm not trying to end the stream here. I'm just, we got a moment to do that.
I'm curious to see who this special guest is.
Should be
Me too.
a big one.
Is this someone I've heard of, or is this some like obscure wrestling guy?
You definitely.
I
heard
am
of him.
positive you've heard of him.
Oh wow.
I would be
Hayden's
shocked if
heard of
somebody-
him. He's big.
If it's Johnny Depp, that's gonna be crazy.
Jonathan is from his hometown, so
Oh,
Yeah, so when Johnny
not
comes through
saying-
next time, I'll be like, "Hey, Hayden, I got Johnny over here. We can do a cameo for you or something."
Can you give us any hint?
He's hiding from
Is it
Amber.
an actor, director, writer?
it is a. I will give you. It is a male,
Okay.
Yes,
not a female.
See.
So,
And yeah, I'd be shocked if somebody didn't know who this was. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Is it
like
Kevin
your
Smith?
mama, like your parents know who this guy is. Like he's ultra famous.
Yes, Hayden. They got Kevin Spacey. That's not going to be an
No, I said
awkward.
Kevin
inter-
Smith, not Kevin
I heard
Spacey.
Spacey. Go back to the tape.
I said Smith, folks. I'd have Kevin Spacey on mine.
Fuck yeah, Kevin Spacey
on
wanted
in.
to talk.
You have to do Frank the whole time, though.
So you
I don't-
haven't
he'd
made
probably
much
do
the
that.
last few years. What
Automatically.
happened?
Toss him a
I know I
20,
will, yeah.
and he'll come on.
There's
Also,
that noticeable
uh,
gap after Big Driver.
I didn't mention
Baby,
this. I know
baby
Jonathan,
driver.
Yes.
Jonathan kind of mentioned this earlier.
Let's do.
Upcoming, we'll have an interview with. I'll let you talk about your buddy Jonathan that we talked with today.
Oh yeah, his name's Steve. He runs Star Trek Video here locally, and that dude has been there as long as I can remember. Like I remember being like a small child going in to rent videos, and he was the dude behind the counter. And you know, I just want to hear like his stories from like the heyday to like 2021 running a video store in this day and age.
Is that the
He's
one with the
great,
hole
dude.
in it?
Yep.
Can we ask questions? Are we allowed to? I'm gonna tear it up.
I
Steve
think
is
we'll
a
probably
Steve is a
pre-record that.
great dude,
I'm just joking. I'll
and
be
he's the
hazed.
sole reason that place is still around. Just people's like Steve.
I gotta know. Is it a gunshot? Is it like what happened there?
Nah, I just fell out.
Oh.
Somebody rented Bound and they just couldn't control themselves. It's a big incident. Just it happens.
They
Uh,
rented Drive Angry, and it made them angry. I thought
They
it was a
pulled
horrible
it. They
joke.
pulled into the parking lot too aggressively. That's what probably happened.
That's really one of the last though too. I mean, he made it to like the end, which is amazing. To still have like an actual rental store like that, like just as it was before.
It is exactly the way it was. Like that's where I got Hayden's copy of Last Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Are
got
you
it
actually?
early.
Are you actually sending me that?
I legitimately got this for you. Like,
Well, didn't you already mail off the package?
I did. We're just gonna have to do another package. So, like, we'll just
thank
make
you.
up another
That's-
cachet of shit.
If you send it to me, I will feel more obligated to watch it than I do.
That's
right
what I
now.
figured.
So,
I didn't have to pay for it though. Steve gave it to me. So
like Red State, is that what it's called? The one. you
yeah, Red
sent?
State's in that package I sent you. Yeah.
I'll watch that. Just because you're sending it.
You got a lot of goodies in that package, man.
Oh yeah, thank you.
We've hooked his ass up the last couple months, I think.
Yeah, man.
It's going to take him
You
30
guys.
years to watch it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, hey, you didn't see this thing. Check this out. I got this fucking VHS too.
What is that? I can't see.
Here,
What,
let me.
what the hell is that? I can't
It's
read
like
it.
a polka. It's this Japanese dude who does polka, and it's like
What?
a holiday special. But like, I picked it up thinking it was like somebody's like professionally done like home videos.
What is it? An actual like release?
Yes, it's real. Like, it's,
Oh wow.
this is the original sticker on it too.
Dang.
Somebody paid $27.91 for that.
That yeah, that's a crazy price to have ever put on that.
This is. I was going to show this. This is real too. This.
And look, this animated work. And Hollywood,
Yeah, I love that.
"Steve, you can do it."
You okay, buddy?
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh,
Who said witchcraft doesn't work?
I'll be back in a moment.
Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bird Troyer!
Oh. All right.
Dude, Jobo's probably never coming back over here. After all
Well, I
this.
just tried to friend him on Facebook so I can steal a picture from him and make a falling T-shirt. So
I thought Jay was in here for a minute with the Vern Troyer thing coming up.
well, if he ever does hop in, you know that's coming. So.
Look, somebody, I won't say their name, but somebody left a not exactly very nice comment about Joe Bob on my latest stream, so I ended up deleting it.
Was it Horror Fanatic? Was that the...
No, it wasn't Horror Fanatic. But I don't know.
That clip is legendary.
It made me feel bad, so I was like, I hope Joe Bob doesn't see this. Although now I'm sitting here talking about it, which is probably
way to go,
worse.
You fucking dick.
Oh well.
It's just got to be timed up. Mick Foley about to hit the table and is like, "By God!" and then it's like cut back to that one. I've had some pretty epic bloopers. I fell into the fountain at Epcot once, which was I was just running along it, being an asshole, and I lost, and I just ate shit, and there were people actually laughing and pointing, which was.
I was hoping it was more of like an office situation where
I was
you,
about to say.
and fell into a koi pond. Michael, they called, one of the fish died.
Oh, that'd be bad. Just they all just fly.
Yo, what are you assholes doing?
What's up?
What's up, man? Hey, Corey.
Yeah.
What the hell you stop sending me new texts, man.
Huh?
I mean, not you, Corey. Hayden, he's fucking prank calling me all the time, man.
I caught you,
dude. If you want me back on your show, all you gotta do is ask nicely. I'll come back. You know, you don't have to send me new pics and shit.
Like the one you sent us.
I didn't send you nothing, dude.
Oh man.
You know. So what's going on, man? Did you get your King Kong vs. Godzilla tickets or what?
I'll probably just watch it on the.
I got mine 5 weeks ago. I'm going opening night, March 31st.
That's cool.
Yeah. So what's up, Dan?
What's up?
Dan's always bad mouthing me. I got no problems with Dan. You know, listen, you know, Dan. But I will say, and I don't mean no disrespect. You do kind of remind me of Dan Yeager from Texas Chainsaw 3D. You ever met the guy? He's a nice guy.
I've met him. Yeah.
Yeah. I met him at Monster Mania a couple of times. He's a nice guy. You know, so. Yeah. All right, man. I just wanted to stop in and say hi. Go ahead, get back to your show. I don't want to, ruin your ratings. Later.
See ya.
Was that him? I couldn't tell the voice.
Yeah.
That was
I was trying to see if somebody was playing a game there. I wasn't too sure.
No.
I was waiting for you to say something, Hayden. I was like, wait, is that him or is that like...
I didn't know what to say.
I
was just gonna let it get as awkward as possible.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wait, is that him? I don't want to say something, and then it's like Christian throwing his voice or something. I was literally picking up my phone to ask. Because I couldn't tell. I was like, I don't know. I don't think that's Christian. I was trying to see like which one of you is actually doing a soundboard.
It was me. I just freeze framed it on myself.
Yeah, Steak. There's the link if you wanted to.
Yeah, hop in, Steaky.
I think he had his laptop got messed up or something. That's why we had
Everybody go buy a shirt from him so he can afford a new one.
Yes.
I got mine. I haven't don't have it on right now, but because I'm trying to order my own shit. But
I ordered mine. I love his logo. I had to have that.
Yeah, that's
shirt.
cool.
Yeah.
Let me give this Dan intro one more shot.
Ooh, baby. Oh.
Yeah, maybe not.
You made it weird, Hayden. It's supposed to be badass.
I don't know. That's the vibe I was getting from it. You know, I have really been getting into that Fiend thing. That Bray Wyatt guy.
Yeah. No, Bray Wyatt's good.
He's kind of becoming my intro into WWE.
We were talking about this, Dan. Jonathan and I were talking about this today. I saw a lot of shit on his new look today.
I dig it.
And I kind of liked it. I thought.
A lot of shit?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it looked pretty badass.
I thought it looked awesome. That's what got me like looking up WWE clips and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he's going to keep that gear forever, but
yeah.
How different was it? Because it looks pretty similar to everything else I've seen from him.
Well, he was burnt up in like a couple months ago, so now he's kind of got that zombie Jason look, kind of. I guess you could say.
Move the burning, guys.
We're talking horror.
He was kind of a walking prop.
Oh, it's piss. Pissow. Joining us.
Evil twin.
I accidentally called him that one of the first times I met him. I think.
Pissow.
Because I thought they were S's at first. So I'm like, okay, this guy's into piss play. That's okay.
That's it. I'm making a shirt where an owl is pissing.
On a vinegar syndrome, or what's it? Is that the company that we're all?
What's up, people? It's Piss Owl.
What was the company that Tony was pissing on?
Vinegar Syndrome, yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome, yeah.
Oh, Vinegar Syndrome's a great company, though. I have to disagree, but
I agree with you, Dan.
I think we all agree they're just asshole people, from what I take it.
No, Vinegar Syndrome
Never had any problem.
They were assholes to Tony.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know who they are. What
it's
I
funny.
know any company that releases porn part time is a friend of mine. So
it's funny. It's funny to watch. If you go back, it's on Triple Flicks Mafia on the YouTube channel. Check out Tony's rant on Vinegar Syndrome. It's funny to watch. So.
Steak, I thought I was 50-50 whether that was you. Earlier, I was like, I don't want to say something because I thought Christian, but then I was like, no, he's got the voice. I don't think he can pull off the voice. So I was like, I don't want to.
That literally was him. It had to be him. It really wasn't me. I can't do his actual dumb voice.
Dan, Big Crack Rock is asking about Flesh Wound shirts. Why don't you take this time though to talk? Tomorrow's the big night, right?
Yeah, I'll have a better answer for you on that tomorrow, Big Crack Rock. But yeah, tomorrow's the 500th episode of Flesh Wound Horror. It'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're giving stuff away, so if somebody wants to win something, it's hashtag Flesh Wound Horror 500.
What do we post?
I guess some people have like shared it, but I guess it's like to track it, you have to actually hashtag it. And I'm not the best of us to say why on this, but I guess like they can look that up, and I mean we'll announce during the show. We might have to do it a few other ways too, but
because you keep saying hashtag it, but I still have no clue what to do to enter.
Well, you just push the pound sign and then you.
No, I know how to hashtag. I just mean like, what do I do? Just tweet out hashtag Flesh Wound 500.
Yeah, you can post our link if you want.
With like a link. Add a link there. Do some work for them. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I was just gonna post a picture of me without my shirt. See if that works.
Well, that works too. We'll still send you stuff even for that.
You trying to call me a fat ass, Sean McManus, or the hell?
Don't listen to him. He's not a Cornelius Patreon member.
It depends what era of Big Boss Man. He had,
do it,
the riot gear.
Do it like
Unless
Not
I'm
Big Bubba.
unless I'm coming out as
that theme is fucking sick.
Yeah.
unless I'm coming out to the NWO Hogan theme, I'm not coming out. So.
I'm excited to watch the Flesh Wound Airplane discussion.
Oh, okay.
I just want to rewatch it first, even though I've seen it a million times. But it'll give me a reason to pop in my Steelbook that I just got a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we just posted a new one on a new film called Making Monsters. So we almost forgot. I was like, wait, we got to get to $4.99 before tomorrow. So we did that one real quick. Miscalculated, I think, by one.
Sure. Hey, can you fucking never do that again? By the way, as I'm waking up here, I was fucking watching this stream, and I had kind of had a cookie put me to sleep, and I wake up to that fucking retard. Jesus Christ! You know how terrifying that is.
It was a nightmare.
Cool.
Sean, and the joke's on you. I am a fat ass. So.
I love a lot of people became fans in the 80s, but if you look back at old-timey wrestlers, none of them exactly were bodies.
Wow.
I mean,
No, that's the thing. That's what I don't get about fucking. Even Hogan just looked big. He didn't look cut. Like he was just huge. Which
Thank you, Steak. Isn't it much
makes sense?
such a
That's
better
why I don't
look?
like fucking why he got.
I'm only saying that because I'm kind of fat.
You know who had the biggest?
Except Jake.
You know who had the biggest
Dan,
ball
I don't know. I
back
can't
in that?
tell because of the beard.
I'm a big dude. Yeah.
Jake's over there looking like what's
Warlord.
No, James Franco. That's what it is.
Oh,
well, that's rude.
And I mean that as a compliment.
The dude
He's Barry Peppers from 3.
What the hell is that?
Dale Earnhardt movie.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy who died.
Yeah. Well, Dale Earnhardt, yeah.
And that one little
Barry Pepper's okay, but
isn't he a Texan?
Probably.
I should know.
I'm not
that.
sure.
Yeah.
He was the dad in that.
Dale Earnhardt. I think he's from Florida. The Earnhardt really seemed like Florida trash, so that's why I always assume both of them are both fucking Florida guys.
Earnhardt from North
I don't know if
Carolina.
that's true at all.
He was drunk when he
They're
died.
from Florida.
He's from North Carolina.
You
Oh,
shouldn't
North
drink
Carolina.
and drive NASCAR, that's for sure.
I don't think he was drinking.
Oh, he was drunk as a motherfucker. You see how he hit that wall?
Drunk as drunk.
He didn't know what was going on.
Somebody in South Carolina just passed out.
Yeah. Hayden's going to be like the most hated man in the South.
Oh, I love making shit up.
Praise Dale.
Heard he had 3 balls, too. It's crazy.
They'd be like, hell yeah, he did. He had to have more balls than the average man.
Do you
What
remember?
he did.
You remember the
He had
friend?
balls. That's why he was wearing his seatbelt. That's why he died.
You remember the French when Lance? Oh, of course, he was cheating. But, Lance Armstrong, when he was winning all those things, and they said it wasn't fair because he only had one testicle and he was aerodynamic or something on the bike.
Oh, yeah.
I love that, and they were dead serious too.
Well,
I remember how big that Live Strong thing was back then.
Yes. Everybody had them stupid little bracelets.
Well,
Maybe it's the circles I ran in, but I felt like when he got caught, it was almost swept under the rug. Like you barely heard about it. Or maybe that was just me.
I mean, he was gone. He didn't do anything after that. I mean, he did some interviews.
I mean,
and stuff.
listen, it was big news for cycling, but that's like the fucking
I guess you're right.
28th most important thing ESPN bring up. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, you know, when he was a cancer guy, yeah, it was important and it was fucking, you know, he was in the news. But once, all right, buddy, you won 7, you're not a cancer guy anymore. You're over it. You can't now. You're just a cyclist, and who gives a fuck? Nobody.
He made a lot of money though, a shitload of money for a bicycle guy.
I bought one of those stupid bracelets.
That's where all France's money goes, is the bicycle guys.
Yeah.
That's
You
why
weren't
France sucks.
cool. You weren't cool unless you owned one of those stupid yellow bracelets. Back in the day.
Oh my
See,
God,
I'm of the
man,
opinion
those fucking
that I wish they would let all athletes use performance enhancing drugs, because that's what I want to fucking see.
Especially
that's
baseball.
I don't want
it to have.
Especially
Right, in
baseball.
baseball, it makes
Like,
so
come
much
on.
more sense.
Just
They watch
let
that
him at
30
it. Come on.
All
Watch
I
that.
want to see is a bunch of fucking giant chest muscles, like knocking the leather off a ball. That's all I want to see.
Yep.
I don't
I
care
watched that
about
30 for
fucking
30.
no-hitters. I don't care.
watched that 30.
You know, I just want. I
watched
want every
that 30
game
for
to be
30.
a home run derby.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, the long gone summer 30 for 30. That was the last time baseball was huge, with the Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa home run race. And those guys were jacked to the fucking gills. Like, let it happen again. People will watch it.
What are they up? What are those two?
I
up
love
to
how
now?
big Barry Bonds' fucking head got.
Yeah. No, Mark McGuire is the hitting coach for St. Louis. So.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bird Troyer!
Hey.
Oh,
What's
that's
up,
his
guys?
intro.
We talking high run here?
Yeah.
Jay.
Cinematography.
You missed some cameos.
Oh, awesome.
Zack
From the
Snyder
back.
explains the Martha scene. What is that?
The Martha scene.
Mar-
I'm like
he
the
did
only
when he
person that
goes,
hasn't
Hi
watched it.
guys.
I don't think I
watched it.
am.
I come back in, guys.
I don't think I'm going to watch it.
Come on, I know you want me on my
Part of the
show
group
again. All you gotta do is ask, and I'll come on your show.
State Sean's asking, you know, what you think of poor Joe Bob falling. Let's go back to the video footage real quick. One more time.
Lucas, I made it work.
Yeah, I love that.
You can do it.
You okay, buddy? Yeah. You okay?
Who said witchcraft doesn't work?
I'll be back in a moment.
The lack of care there still amazes me.
I asked if he was okay.
You were good. You did, but yeah, Corey and Lauren didn't.
Can you play it one more? I need one more. I need one more.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, this is like the SNL when Buckwheat was shot back in the 80s. Let's go back to the video footage.
Lucas on made it work. And Hollywood,
Yeah, I love that.
You can do it.
You okay, buddy? Yeah. You okay?
Who said witchcraft doesn't work?
I'll be back in a moment.
Oh, damn, that was gold.
I was showing you guys my boxers. No one said anything.
I don't feel bad for Joe Bob. I'm not, you know, it's not a pity case, but God damn it, that was funny. You know, like,
No, here's the
I
thing.
fell down like
Here's
that.
the thing.
I would have laughed at me too.
I was about to say that if that was anyone, I
Yeah,
would still fucking laugh at it.
right.
Yeah.
oh,
Oh yeah, you see Joe Biden fall down the stairs?
You'd be
That's
annoyed
great.
if that was you.
That's what these,
fuck
these
yeah.
Joes can't walk.
No, we love Joe Biden here. He's our favorite.
David
love
Dobrik for
Grandpa
life.
Joe. We bring him his pudding.
No worries, buddy.
Anyone keeping up with the David Dobrik rape allegations?
No, there's so many. It's hard to keep track of them.
David Dobrik.
Wait,
shot
you actually know who
Asian
David
Americans
Dobrik is?
in Atlanta. He
Anyone?
also turned into a pink man. He's not white. He's pink. Like fucking. He literally looks like he looks like Valentine's Day edition Sammy Sosa.
Valentine's Day edition. Sammy Sosa.
Oh, Ben Affleck reacts to the Snyder Cut. Got
His
off that
steak.
later.
You steak, you son of a bitch.
Hey, Stink, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Fucking any boys lately?
No, not really.
It's Jeff
Well,
from
I'm
Films at
proud of
Home.
you. That's against God's wishes.
Thanks, man. Wow, the room got quiet, man. Jeez, Christ.
Well, you still owe us all an apology after freaking out on us.
I freaked out on you? Hayden,
Yeah, dude.
you and Steak
I showed
banned
the
me.
fucking text messages, you motherfucker.
You and Steak banned me.
You started
Everybody
freaking
banned
out.
me. Everybody banned me.
I never
didn't
banned you. Steak banned
I didn't
you.
do nothing to nobody. Steak banned me. He kicked me out 5 times.
You're giving
You banned
people's
me.
addresses away. That's not cool.
You're giving people's addresses.
For real.
Okay, well,
I don't know why
I
Corey
banned
even
you.
let you
I
into
put
this
you in
fucking
ti-
stream.
I put you in timeout because it's funny to me.
Time out? You kicked me out the chat like 5 times, and you're gonna side with him when he's busting my balls for 3. Listen, we're talking.
Corey, get rid of this fucking clown right now.
Oh, look at it. Hey, I'm trying to be civil, and you're calling me names.
Yeah, you were leaking people's addresses and shit.
Let him fucking.
It's not cool.
Oh, but when
and then you fucking I showed the fucking text messages, man. People know the true story.
Listen,
and you never apologized to any of us.
But you didn't apologize to me.
I didn't do shit to you.
What do you mean? What about when
you were
we're talking
people's
horror
addresses,
and
I said, dude, look, I'll unban you, but you got to chill out. And then you went off on us in the group thread.
What's so funny, Steak? I mean, listen, if we're talking horror and there's a troll in the room saying gay stuff to me, I don't want to hear that for 20 minutes. I mean, there's a fine line. I don't mind. I bust balls. I get my balls busted by my friends every day. But when we're having a cordial horror conversation and somebody comes in and says, "Oh, I got fucking cum in my head," I'm like, "What the fuck?" I mean, it has to be,
Well, those are allegations.
You guys should have.
Those are allegations to take seriously.
I just wish you hadn't freaked out on us.
Your back because they were fucking around in the chat. It's what it's called, busting balls. And as you said, it's your turn in the barrel. Shut up and take it. Laugh with it. Fucking roll it. Don't have a fucking meltdown on stream. Like a fucking child.
Honestly, I agree, Snake, with you on that one. I did think I overreacted.
Al, you're closing in on 4 years old. All right.
On what?
These are not the years to be. These are not the years to be fucking having temper tantrums.
Nah, I agree actually with Hayden and Steak. I did overreact. I mean, honestly, guys, I'll be honest. I do kind of have anger problems, and sometimes gets the best of me.
Dude, we had a lot of fun with you.
Yeah.
I don't mean at you. I don't know, man.
Oh yeah,
it seemed like you snapped
times,
that one day.
Yeah, I did. And listen, I'm kind of I'm the same way in person. I just don't really get physical. But I'll tell you, my one friend, every time I go out with friends, sometimes one of them busts my balls, and I'll be like, listen, shut the fuck up already, But I'm not combative. Unless somebody hits me, I'm not out to hurt anybody. It's just, I do think I was going off on some people on stream, and I think that's probably one of the main reasons. People are like, all right, well, Al's just he's lost his mind. I can't deal with it.
It's okay to get pissed off if people are talking shit in the chat. I just
but I mean,
wish you hadn't put
Steak has a point. Like I said, my anger gets the best of me. I'm not admitting to nothing because listen, we all do stupid stuff, but I wasn't gonna, do it. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not, I'm a harmless person. I mean, I have friends who are cops. I'm not gonna fucking harm someone. I think people just went overboard, completely overboard. But I understand people get mad. Listen, shit happen. But I do think Steak is right. I kind of overreacted because I think that like, you know, I'm not in my teens, you know, and like, I mean, you know, we're you know, like it was just kind of stupid, I think, you know, but I don't know. So
Yeah, and we tried fucking telling you that, you know, before everything fucking blew up. No, I'm doing gay shit.
well, I mean, you know, like
It
I
was
said, you know.
2020. It's 2021 now. It's like fucking chill out. We get it. No one thinks you're gay, and when you freak out like that, when someone fucking does say that, you know, it does kind of make it seem like you're fucking one of those Republicans hiding something.
Well, and it just makes those people go in even harder on you when you freak out.
Right.
Over the gay jokes.
Because it's like, oh, that's his button. Good, we can fucking.
Yeah, wow. And you know what? A lot of those people really, they weren't like my enemies. It was just the people who are just regulars. Not like, I mean, they don't come online like us. I don't know. Maybe they're shy or like, you know, like Lance and all those. You know, I never like had a problem with them, but I just think that they kind of, you know, they enjoyed busting my balls. And like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I've always had anger problems since I was a kid. You know, I wasn't like, doesn't mean like, you know, someone says something to me, I'm gonna go punch you in the face. No, but you know, I'll say stuff back. You know, like I've had arguments with people. You know, but I think that, you know, right now I'm kind of learning to control that. You know, like I've been, you know, kind of, you know, because I just don't, you know, really I'm a peaceful guy. I just think I just kind of like, you know, like Steak said, I think I overreacted. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, I mean, like, I never really had a problem with anybody. You know, honestly, well, except I don't know, this one fucking troll horror fanatic.
No.
Corey was talking about him earlier. He hates everybody. You know, he used to troll me for like 3 weeks. This was like 6 months ago. 3 weeks. He would badmouth me, tell Corey and Jonathan, why you guys have Al on the show, this and that. Now he's bad. Then he badmouths Christian. Then he badmouths Joe Bob Tarhill, this horror fanatic guy. And you know what? I got into it, right? Like he really pissed me off. I was going back and forth. I said, dude, if you're near me, you know, like I really like got mad. I said, listen, I'm sick of you, man. You want to meet up and settle this? He's like, oh, I'm a troll, man. I troll people. I get blocked all the time. You know, I'm not going to meet you, dude. But honestly, I don't like you. I'm like, okay, I don't care. Just stop, you know, trolling me. That's all, you know. Corey knows horror fanatic.
That's all over the internet, though. You know, there's going to be trolls.
Yeah,
that's what they live to do. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You know, but like, as far as everybody else, like I never had a problem with anybody. Like, you know, me, Lauren, and Steak were going to meet in September. I mean, or October, go see Halloween, but you know, I don't know.
I even wanted to unban you because Steak banned you that one time, and I was like, look,
Hayden, listen,
I'll unban you.
Well, Hayden, you texted me. Hayden, this is what you texted me. You sent the text to them, but then, like, you know, I mean, like, I got kind of out of hand, but like, you should have been like, Al, like, calm down.
That's what I said. I was like, look, I'm gonna unban you. Just don't release any more addresses. Like, come on.
The address is the problem.
Yeah, that's really the main.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not admitting or not to nothing, but what I did wasn't illegal. You guys could type in my name and find my address. You know, people made it out like, you know, I was doxing. It's not doxing.
No,
Look up the
it's a trust issue thing, man.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not admitting to anything. You know, I was mad. I was mad. People get mad. You know, they say things sometimes they don't mean. But I'm not admitting to nothing. You know, but like I said, I'm really not a bad guy. I just, you know, I get mad. People say things they don't mean. People say things to me in person. I get arguments with my friends all the time. We'll go to the bar, have a couple of drink, and the next thing you know, somebody would say something to them. Oh, when we were in middle school, this. I mean, I said, dude, you know, what about when you did this to me? Oh, what about when your cousin cheated on me 10 times? You know, my friend Joe's cousin fucking cheated on me like 10 times. But you know, she's.
Did Hayden cheat on you?
No, actually, yeah, he did with what's his name? I don't know, somebody. No, I'm kidding, no. But you know, like I don't know.
There's that quick wit.
You know. You know, I was like, you know, I know Steak. You know, I'm not gonna, you know. So, no, but You know, I mean, and then like,
what did happen?
Hey, you did prank call me though.
Yeah, I did do that.
I know that was you because
It was
I was
only
like
twice though. I just
We
want
were
to
on
be clear.
YouTube, of course.
Yeah, I didn't call
Yeah,
you
but
like a million times or anything crazy.
I didn't call anybody. Like
No,
that.
I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying
I would only send out. Go ahead. What were you saying, Steak? What were you saying?
I said, as you frequently allege that Hayden and myself, a million times. It was literally.
I don't know.
Call.
It was a couple people prank called me. Maybe.
Look, that I don't even care about that stuff.
Well, then,
yeah, Hayden. It was some other people prank called me.
I just want to know.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been
just one time, and we were fucking.
Okay, then it was Then there was some other people. I don't know. Maybe it was Piz or somebody. I don't know. It could be anybody. It could, but so then, and I was just minding my business.
Al,
I'm not making it. I'm just giving an example. I'm not.
Al,
what's up?
I just want to get your side of the whole Jamie's relatives receiving phone calls and all that shit.
Here's the funny thing. Yeah. I never called anybody in Jamie's family.
The whole thing with Jamie's.
I never called anybody with Jamie.
Okay.
Even with the address. That's like even with that. Because she had nothing to do with it. And she's probably the most vulnerable and probably the most vulnerable person you could that could have happened to. That's where the issue came in.
Yeah,
it's not in the blow-ups. It's in none of that.
Right,
it's somebody who was made to feel unsafe. Who
she overreacted. I mean, like I do think she like a little bit like completely overreacted.
I don't think she overreacted because something that
Jonathan,
she made something
that
was sacred. It's just something that she thought was sacred in private to her was somehow violated. So this isn't real life. This isn't real life here. None of this is, and none of it's that important to where it has to spill over into real life.
Of course, no, yeah. Like I said, like it's
not fucking.
I agree
in the least.
And it wasn't.
I think that's the problem. That's the issue. Like it's not like nobody cares really like about stuff you said or nothing like that. Like, nobody cares about that. It's that thing. That was the thing that was like that's too far.
And again, I'm not like admitting to nothing, but I agree with what you're saying, but like I said, I was I was working doubles, I still am. I was drinking a lot, so my anger,
I know, but if what you're
drinking,
if what you did wasn't illegal, why don't you just admit to it? It's not so we can all get over it and move on.
Because I'm not like going.
I'm just saying,
I mean, like, I just, I'm off tonight. I was laying in bed and just wanted to come on and say what's up, dude. Like, I'm not, but I, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't like, I do think that, we had some good times, man. But I don't know. I think a lot of stuff got overblown. And I realized why everybody blocked me and banned me. I was going.
Fun was fun, but then someone had to be a fucking retard and losing their mind. So, as far as I'm concerned, fucking you're persona non grata for the rest of the time. You're a clown, so we'll continue to clown on you. But that's that. Like it's fucking. That's the beginning and the end of any fucking conversation.
What do you mean, like? What do you mean, clown? Like, I don't understand.
You're funny to us, but not like an equal. We'll pick on you.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah. And people like it. But that's all. Like, you fucked up. You don't get to come back.
Well, I'm not. Listen, dude, I wasn't.
Whatever you're fucking.
Dude,
I just and fucking whoever in the chat. That's one thing, but.
Oh, so hey, you're not gonna let me on once in a while? Talk live stream. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Steak, I think really, Steak, you're that mad at me, man? Come on, dude.
Over like shit like that, dude. Yeah. Like
You got to apologize
Steak,
to
absolutely.
Jamie and publicly, dude. Like that's what you got to do. So, and I don't know if that makes any difference. Probably not. But you got to apologize. You posted a woman's address where you don't know who's looking at these videos. Anybody in the world could be looking at these videos.
Right.
So have the balls to apologize to her. Not saying it'll make any difference at all, but that's what matters. You don't have to.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, Dan, I'm not admitting to nothing, and
Well, you don't have to admit to us.
I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not apologizing, dude. Because like I said, I was never that close to Jamie, anyways, dude. I got mad. I got mad. I was drinking a lot. I get mad. I was working a lot. My anger got the best of it.
A little more than anger, dude. Like posting the address is a little more than anger.
Well, like I said, nothing was going to happen, and I'm not saying I did it because I'm not admitting to nothing.
Well, why don't we all know you did it, bro. Like for real.
You don't have to admit to anything, but to her.
You took things too far, and that's the end of the story, like Steak said.
Yeah, but you guys also retaliated against me. I didn't go berserk.
Yeah, but you did it first, dude. Like you posted the address.
Yeah, we didn't retaliate by posting your address everywhere or anything.
I don't know.
Like
Somebody's been emailing me with screenshots of my address, and I was like, okay, I mean, like that's not funny, because I don't know who it is, and I was like I said, I had no problem.
I don't have your email, so
yeah, you weren't on the email list. I mean, but like I said, which you never were, Steak. I'm not saying you were, but like I said, I mean, I never honestly, Hayden. I think I understand where you're coming from, Hayden, but I think I'm not going to join your Patreon. Listen, I'm happy for you, man. If you're making money,
what? I'm not asking you to join my Patreon. Where does this?
I mean. How much you making now that you got a Patreon?
You can go look for yourself. Why are you bringing up Patreon?
No, I'm shocked, man. I was like, if I had the time, I'd make a Patreon, but I don't have a channel. I was like, but listen, if you're making money, good for you, dude. You're pouring out content, you're making money. I mean, but I think Hayden and Steak and and Corey, I think once in a while, you guys should let me. Come on, kick this shit, man.
I think Corey Egg were about done here, to be honest.
Huh?
Well, yeah, we're gonna wrap the show up anyway. But Al, human to human, I hope you take care of the anger issues you have, your drinking issues. Hope you get all that lined out. And, wish the best for you. So.
All right, so maybe I'll stop in sometime, say what's up, see you guys.
We'll broach that in the future. So,
what's up?
I said we'll look at that in the future. So,
and Hayden, you and Steak shouldn't block me.
Look, man, I don't have anything against you. I don't think
I never had anything against you. You're the one who banned me.
For good reason, man. Like we've already discussed, but I think we are done with this conversation at this point. I don't have anything more to say. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not here to argue. I'm here on a friendly term.
Do I think you're an evil guy? No, but
I'm really not.
I know.
You could ask anybody I know. I mean,
you took things way too far, especially with the whole Jamie situation. Whether or not you called her or anything, we know the address stuff.
That I did not do.
Well, then that's fine.
Listen, like Steak said, which I don't know why she made a video. I didn't do it. I was trying to comment in my defense, but I kept getting blocked and banned. I'm like, what the hell? DJ Donnelly, like she said, I was like, I don't even know who DJ Donnelly is. I wasn't subscribed to DJ Donnelly.
Dude, why? What did she have to do with somebody calling you gay in the chat? She had nothing to do with that. Well, then
Nothing.
why'd you
That's
post
why I
her
don't-
address? That
Dan,
doesn't make sense.
I don't recall doing that. Honestly, I really don't.
That was live in the chat. I mean, that's not
Okay.
one. Maybe you
It
didn't call her. but...
it could have been somebody under my account. People have done it before, but I don't personally recall doing it. I really don't. You know, like I said, I was drinking a lot. I don't recall doing it. Could have been someone else. I certainly never called her. I don't. You can't.
You were in that chat a long time, dude. That was not. It's a lot of interaction before that. And you got mad. And you put.
Jamie,
you got to admit to what you did to her, not to us. I mean, she's the one you need.
Corey,
to
can we wrap this up? We can continue to talk off air, but let's
listen. If Jamie came in the room, I wouldn't say anything bad to her. Like I wouldn't, be mean to her.
Well, I would hope not, but you did before.
Well, actually, I never did. I never flipped out on Jamie. Like I never cursed her out. I never disrespected her. I honestly never. You can go back in the chats.
I would rather be cursed out than somebody post my address online. I mean,
and I don't recall doing that. I really don't. Like, I mean, I don't want to sit here and have court with you,
that
Dan.
means your fucking drinking problem's worse than anyone thought. You're just blacking out and fucking looking up people's information, which does seem a little fucking left field. So,
well, I don't drink like that now. I mean, I haven't drank that in like 2-3 months. I was working doubles, dude. I was a lot of stress.
Hey, shut up!
Hold on. Let me step in. Let me shut this show down, and you can discuss whatever off the air. So, all right, Jay the Stingray. Make sure you check out his channel. Steak, you want to bring up your show?
I don't know. I should have a show tomorrow. Hopefully, I have my new laptop. Check out teespring.com/stores/OTG store. Grab a bunch of bullshit. Help me pay for this fucking laptop. Thanks, guys.
All right. Hayden?
Yeah, Cornelius Collection. And I've got a Patreon show that I'll be secret stream I'll be doing here in a bit, actually. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Dan, the big show tomorrow night?
Yep, Flesh Wound features on YouTube. Everybody knows where to find us.
And I mentioned Jonathan and I stuff earlier, so make sure you stay tuned for that stuff in the next week. So, till we see you next, guys, take it easy.